like that, it's going to be less wind affected. I don't know. Do you do it on the left side or the right? The left?
I go on the left, yeah, like right here.
Yeah.
It's pretty good right now.
Yeah. It just gets so stagnant in here.
I agree. I was getting hot already.
Yeah, I just think you get a little breeze coming through. I know it can be a pain, but...
Hello and welcome to Melbourne Ballpark for the last time in the regular season. It's the Melbourne Aces and the Adelaide Giants. This is the Brick Lane pregame show. I'm Ed Wyatt. Beside me, he's been here all year, Max Tanzer, the voice of the Melbourne Aces. And Max, hard to believe, after 39 games, it comes down to one game.
You couldn't ask for more if you're an ABL fan here today. I mean, coming into the final day of the year, every team is either clinched or is still alive in the playoff hunt. For the Aces, they have to win today no matter what. Need a little bit of help as well. Either one Brisbane win over Canberra in their doubleheader today or a Perth loss to Sydney. Again, a lot up in the air as we record this Brick Lane pregame show, so we'll keep you updated with all the scores when we come back from the next break, too.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit complicated, but we'll do our best to stay on top of it. Aces, as you mentioned, need the win. Chase Jesse on the mound tonight. See how that goes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if it's more of a bullpen game for the Aces or a true start for Jesse. This is a guy who made 17 starts in the Pioneer League earlier this year, so he definitely has experience in that role. And what I'm excited to see is he pitches with so much energy and emotion. I mean, in the last couple outings, picks up a big strikeout, and he's fired up coming off the mound. I'm sure with the playoffs on the line, a loud crowd here today, it's going to be a dialed-in Jesse.
Yeah, and on the offensive side, the bats really have to come to the fore today. Yesterday, limited to just 2 hits, both of them in the first inning, so they're going to really need to sing this afternoon.
And look, this is an Aces offense, which is top of the league in most offensive categories, particularly slugging and OPS. So they know what they're capable of. Even 16 runs on 18 hits, both season highs back on Friday night. You got to expect they bounce back today. Also on top of that, Adelaide, they can't advance or go back in the standings. They are already locked in as the 2 seed, so maybe the Aces can take advantage of that a little bit with Adelaide not having much to play for. Well, it's going to be a good one. Game number 40. It's round 10, game 4. Playoffs on the line. Aces looking for a ticket to the dance when we come back.
Back at the track, it's a good ball. It out the left field. It's got Carey. Ray is back. See you later. Daryl George gives the Aces the lead. It's 3-2, and that's got Carey working back. He leaps and he makes the catch. Oh. Center field is deep. Simmons is back at the track. It is gone. Oh! History for Brett Byrne. His 3rd homer of the night. He charges this one up to left field. Back is Kennelly. He can only watch. It's gone. Garrett Dale picks up his 2nd. Swinging. This one set in the air. Deep right field. Campbell back. Track. Wall. It's off the wall. Greg Bird wins it for the Aces, 5-4 and 9.
Oh boy, we got a good one and we got a good update for you. But before we come back, let's take a step aside for the Australian national anthem.
lions on our streets, for we are one and free. With golden sun and wealth tall, our home is kept by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich. In history's maze, let every state of world's Australia. In jungle streets and let us sing of world's
The table is set here at Melbourne Ballpark, and the volume has been cranked. We have an update from Brisbane. The Bandits beat the Canberra Cavalry 5-2, meaning the Aces clinch a postseason spot with a win today. They just got a win here at Melbourne Ballpark, and they're in. Max Stanza here, joined alongside Ed Wyatt. We're in for a good one today. Let's take a look at the Adelaide Giants starting lineup. Nick Ward, having a good series so far, leads things off at third base. You can see him in the on-deck circle on your screen. Liam Spence, the shortstop, bats second. Jared Carr in center field hits third. Rickson Wingrove cleans things up at first base. Jordan McArdle, the DH, bats fifth. Diego Gonzalez, he homered yesterday, gets the start at second and bats sixth. Nico Holsizer back in the lineup and in left field, bats seventh. Riley Knight bats eighth and right, and Louis Albrecht gets another start behind the plate. Dan McGraw on the mound for Adelaide here today.
Couple of switches there, but it's still a powerful lineup. You have Holsizer back in and the dangerous Gonzalez. So, we talked about Adelaide yesterday. This is not the kind of club that's going to come out and just go through the motions. They've got pride. They don't like Melbourne, really. There's been that rivalry. So I would expect a very tough game, and a former ace, Dan McGraw, on the hill.
And we got a new ace on the hill for Melbourne here this afternoon. That's Chase Jesse, making his first start with Melbourne this season after a handful of relief appearances. So again, Adelaide 22-17 on the year. They're locked in to the number 2 seed. They'll be hosting the 3 seed next weekend. Meanwhile, the Aces 18-21, as we mentioned earlier, after Brisbane's win just about 10 minutes ago. The Aces win, and they're in for the second consecutive season. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. It doesn't get much better than this here on the final day of the ABL season. Well, there's a look at Chase Jesse as he throws his warm-up tosses. So far this year, an ERA up above 8 over a couple relief appearances, but as we mentioned in the Brick Lane pregame show, 17 starts in the Pioneer League this year for Northern Colorado. On top of that, this is a guy who pitches with so much energy, so much emotion. I mean, if you were to pick one guy just to sort of live with the crowd here today, this is the guy.
And it is a big crowd, and we've just got the news before we came on air that we have cracked the 30,000 mark. That means more than 30,000 people have attended Aces games, home games this season, which is a real testament to Justin Huber and Mel Orr and all the people who work here and what they've been able to do. Our man Zach on the tickets, can't forget him. So everyone's contributed, and what a great way to finish the season here with a nice big crowd on Sunday afternoon, Max.
Absolutely. The cherry on top would be a postseason berth as Chase Jesse steps onto the mound. We're ready to go. Playoffs on the line for the Aces. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. Nick Ward will lead things off for Adelaide. Jesse into the wind, his first pitch. Grounded up the line and foul, and we are underway.
I did have a thought that one thing Adelaide may do is be less patient at the plate. They may swing a little earlier and, they're not drag out the at-bats, and it's essentially meaningless for them.
With Sydney winning yesterday over Perth, they have clinched the number 1 seed. And so Adelaide, who clinched the number 2 seed with their 9-0 win over the Aces yesterday, really can't help themselves or hurt themselves. It's more about just making sure they're ready for next weekend when they host the ABL finals. Up and in, 2-1 the count. And Adelaide's such a good team at home. I mean, that was huge for them to get that home seed.
Yep. Well, that first round, right, the top 2 teams get all the games at home, so it's a huge bonus.
Yeah, and now Perth has clinched a spot as well with the Canberra loss. Outside 3-1. So it's really the fourth team that is now up for grabs here, and it's between the final three other teams in the league in Canberra, Brisbane, and Melbourne. Again, if the Aces were to lose this one, the second game of the doubleheader between Canberra and Brisbane is essentially a playoff game for that final spot. Of course, the Aces are hoping that's not the case. 3-1's outside ball 4. Good start for Adelaide, a leadoff walk. And Ward reaches.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're drawing up a league, this is what you want. Every team with a chance, either in or with a chance, right? I mean, that's what the NFL and parity and salary caps and things like that are made for. This is perfect.
I mean, how many leagues have every team in contention or clinched on the last day of the
I would
year?
say none, probably.
Yeah. Again, this is a 6-team league
Yeah.
where the top 4 teams make the postseason. It's worked out beautifully this year. Just from an entertainment standpoint. Here's Liam Spence. That one rises high, 1-0. For Jesse, walks have been a bit of a struggle so far in his Aces career. Over 6 1/3 of an innings work. Now 8 after that one award. Mitchell Edwards doing the catching this afternoon. 1-0. This is upstairs, 2-0. Koki Suzuki calling balls and strikes today. Tom West over at first, Takayuki Ichikawa at second, and Taylor Field over at third base. Well, the Aces bullpen is pretty rested. Again, you got to imagine Steve Kent, Dovydas Neverauskas are both available today. 2-0.
Yes, sir.
Just a little bit outside. No, called a strike, excuse me. 2-1.
I thought that was a strike.
A little bit of a delayed call, but Jesse will take it. Spence had a good day yesterday. 1 for 2, reached base 3 times, drove in a run as well. Now hitting at the Mendoza line at 200 clip here in his 36th game of the year. 2-1. 3-1. So Jesse has really struggled with his command here early on.
And strike what I said about Adelaide not being patient. I think you've seen it right off the bat with Ward and Spence both.
He's just thrown 2 strikes amongst his first 9 pitches. Hitters count for Spence. 3-1. Driven high in the air, left center field. Whitefield back, so is Burke. It's Burke who reaches up to make the catch. Ward was at second. He'll get back. Allowed out number 1. Let's take a look at our weather today. Again, you can see on your screen the sun is beaming, which was not the case last Sunday. Of course, a 3-hour weather delay. But it's shining bright here. It's a really warm one as well, Ed. And the wind doesn't seem to be playing too much of a factor so far.
No, the flags don't look like they're going too much, but you can see there, thanks to Vibrant Services, 28 degrees. Pretty warm. Sun is hot.
And off the bat, that ball looked like it was punished by Spence,
Dude.
but died in front of the track. Here's Jared Carr riding a franchise record for Adelaide's 16-game hitting streak. Down and away, 1-0. And when John Diebel was considering starters, I'm sure what was in mind was we got to choose a southpaw with how many potent left-handers are in this Giants lineup. And here's the big stretch, the big left-handed lane that the Aces will have to pitch through today. Carr, Wingrove, and McArdle. Move to first.
And, you know, left-handed bats, but they all do different things, right? Carr's kind of that pesky hitter. Wingrove, we know what he can do, power hitter. McArdle, also a power hitter, but great eye, draws walks. So 3 very difficult hitters for different reasons.
Yeah, McArdle entered this morning tied for the league lead in free passes with Brendan McNair of Brisbane. 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0. So it seems like Jesse's just missing up with that fastball a little bit here. And we'll see. Maybe they try to mix in more breaking offerings to see if he could drop one over the plate. This is a Brisbane team, make that a Adelaide team, that takes advantage of free opportunities here and free bases. They lead the league in walks, too.
Balls out.
Just a little bit outside, 3-0. Good crowd on hand today. Again, not as big as the previous two nights where the Aces drew over 2,000 in both. But as Ed mentioned, we've now crossed the 30,000 mark here at Melbourne Ballpark. 3-0. Strike all the way, 3-1.
Yeah, the crowds have been spectacular. Hopefully the crowd can get the Aces through this one.
Infield for the Aces, pretty standard, left to right on the diamond. George, Dale, McCullough, and Bird. Edwards doing the catching. Burke, Whitefield, and Glendenning left to right in the outfield. 3-2 now the count here on Carr. And we'll keep you updated throughout the other scores around the league because they do have implications on seeding. And as we mentioned, that final game between Brisbane and Canberra, which starts at 2 o'clock, so 50 minutes from now. If the Aces don't win today, that will be the playing game for the final spot. 3-2.
Oh,
Just a little bit low, ball 4. Second walker allowed by Jesse. First and second, one away, and we'll see how John Diebel wants to play the bullpen today.
Hey,
Get
you're on
another
clock.
look.
yeah, a little low.
Really close spot. And Peter Moylan will now head out to the mound. Ricks and Wingrove due up here. But we'll see if he gets the bullpen heated up maybe a little bit earlier than usual. Of course, this at this point for the Aces
I kind of
is a playoff game for the playoffs.
Yep.
They win and they're in, and so
It's not mattering,
you
but
cannot afford to let this game get away from you like it did yesterday.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's all hands on deck, really.
So Moylan back to the first base dugout, and Jesse will look to get ahead here. "16 pitches for the Aces left-hander, just 5 strikes. Jesse, 25 years old, out of Ohio, 6 feet tall. A lot of life in that fastball. We've seen it touch 95 over the last couple of weeks, and already some stretching in the Aces bullpen here.
Yep. Players heading out there, warming up.
First and second for Wingrove. Here's Jesse's first one. Wingrove taking all the way.
Yeah.
It's up and in 1-0.
Didn't even move that bat off his shoulder, Max.
And that's going to be the approach. Again, struggling with the command. Is there Steve Kent starting to stretch? Jonathan Tripp's down there, so keep an eye on that.
We mentioned yesterday, didn't I? I mentioned that you might have to have that Randy Johnson-esque contribution from a starter.
1-0. Strike called top of the zone, 1-1. And I mean, who knows? Maybe he's just down there to hang out with them, but maybe there's a chance he gets in, throws an inning in a high leverage spot.
Those first two, Wingrove was not even remotely interested in swinging at those first 2 pitches.
1-1 from Jesse. Sharply grounded foul, 1-2.
He was interested in that one.
Yeah.
But that's what that is an experienced hitter. Jesse's having some trouble finding the strike zone. Make him throw strikes. Don't even think about swinging. Very smart from a veteran guy like Wingrove.
Let him come to you.
Absolutely.
Well, now he's behind, 1-2 the count. Was 0 for 4 yesterday, but has plenty of thump in his bat. 1-2. Just got a piece. There's a good curveball. Took a lot off of that one, and Wingrove just stays alive.
Appreciate it. It's pretty close, yeah. Depends
Aces
on the
have been
break.
doing a good job of keeping Wingrove quiet after he was 2 for 4 on Thursday. He's 0 for 7 since. And he's had to see a ton of lefties in this series. Look at that little leg lift getting ready to go. Ward at second, Carr at first, both with good speed. 1-2. Down and away. What a stop by Edwards. 2-2. Keeps the double play in order as well. Wingrove has grounded into 1 double play in this series. That was yesterday. We get another look at this curveball. That's huge right there.
Yeah, it
Keeps
is.
another runner out of scoring position, 2. Infield shifting Wingrove towards his pull side. 2-2. Oh, just got a piece of that one. My goodness. Took that one out of the glove of Edwards.
Sent the Adelaide dugout scrambling.
You think he was sitting off speed right there?
I'll take
I mean,
that.
oh, my goodness. We've seen him take a couple of those slap-esque swings in this series. Again, he'll protect up there. Long inning here for Jesse, but still a chance to get out of it with no damage. This will be pitch number 24 for him. Long hold, 2-2. Got him swinging. Pivotal out number 2.
Big out.
First strikeout for Jesse, and he's 1 out away from getting to the other side of the tightrope here. Here's Jordan McArdle, a tough foe himself.
Yeah, that's a really big pitch. Perfect from Jesse.
Well, if you want to talk about getting the crowd into it early on, I'm sure many of them know the implications here. Getting out of a jam like this would fire them up. Ward at second, Carr at first. Both will go on contact. First pitch is taken inside for a strike, 0-1. Full shift on again for McArdle, who again leads the league in walks. He'll see plenty of pitches up there, and so Jesse will have to make some quality pitches against him. 0-1. Down and away. Really good work from Edwards early on today. Counting if it's up. It was yesterday with a couple of runners in scoring position where McArdle came to the plate, worked a really long at-bat against Jack Fox, with the bases loaded, in fact, and then proceeded to just serve a soft one-hopper through the left side of the infield with the infield shifted. It was a really good piece of hitting, and it just shows you, yes, he's a big guy with plenty of power, but he's just a pure hitter, too, at that. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Climb the ladder, 1-2.
Yeah, if he can get out of this, Max, that's a great escape act here in the first inning.
Over 25 pitches in this inning for Jesse, but none of that matters if he could retire McArdle right here. Playoffs on the line for the Aces. They win and they're in. Jesse set. One, two. Swing and a miss. He got him swinging. Huge for Jesse as he evades the 2 walks and strands 2 Giants. We head to the bottom of the first. Scoreless. The Aces in a must-win game coming to the plate for the first time today when we come back.
Pulled the double duty this week, though.
The Aces starting lineup here in a must-win game, announced by manager John Diebel, as they'll face Dan McGraw. Leading things off in center field, Aaron Whitefield, where he's been all season long. So good for the Aces this year. Right behind him, another stalwart. That's Jared Dale, leading the league in hitting. He plays short. Robbie Glendening bats third in right field. 4 homers for him this season. Greg Bird has played in all 40 games this year. Cleans things up, riding a 12-game on-base streak. Daryl George at third base will bat 5th in game number 35 for him. Morgan McCullough has been on fire in this series, bats 6th at second base. Mitch Edwards does the catching. He'll hit 7th. Batting behind him, back of the lineup, Jared Belbin, the DH. Rounding up the 9 in left field for Melbourne will be Chris Burke. And as you saw earlier, Chase Jesse getting the start for the Aces. Houdini act to get out of a first and second at 1 point, 1 out jam.
And the Aces will face a former ace in Dan McGraw, 30-year-old. Started his career here.
First pitch to Whitefield is shot up to center. Jared Carr races in. One pitch, one out.
That was quick. Didn't even get to finish my introduction on McGraw. Started back in 2010-11. Then signed with the Red Sox, Max. Made it as far as AAA after 7 seasons in the minors. That's Pawtucket. Career 35-35 in the minors. Came back to the Aces 2020 for a couple years, then went to Adelaide. So he knows this ballpark.
And he is an ABL vet. This is outing number 8 for him, his 4th start. First pitch to Dale's outside, 1-0. A 4.80 ERA for him this year. Opponents hitting .271 against him. So the Aces, after seeing 3 essential aces on the Adelaide side, we'll see to try and take advantage of their former teammate who struggled a bit this year. Last outing was at Brisbane a week ago. Went 4 innings, 3 runs, all of them earned. Pitch to Dale, down it in ball 3, 3-0.
He was affected by some injuries, I do know that, but I tell you what, early on when he signed with the Sox, he was really, really good pitcher.
He's working quickly as he pours in a strike, 3-1. Hitters count for Dale. Here's the pitch. Up and away, ball 4. First base runner of the day for the Aces. That'll make way to Robbie Glendinning. And now, Ed, it was an important first inning yesterday for the Aces where they loaded the bases with 1 away, could not bring around a run to score. Had 2 hits in that first inning, didn't pick up a hit after that against Matt Osterberg, who was lights out for Adelaide. So he scoring early and taking advantage of every opportunity you get against a really good Adelaide pitching staff. Glendinning takes down low, ball 1.
Yeah, that was a real one of those look back and go what if moments, to be honest.
Change up down low, 2-0. And again, there were a lot of things that went wrong in that game for the Aces. Of course, allowed 9 runs, but you just never know what might be different if they are able to rally a couple across in that first inning. Went around, 2-1. Fouled away, 2-2. Something to keep an eye on. Jared Dale took a shuffle back on that delivery right there, and it looks like it'll be a pretty effective pickoff move potentially for McGraw today. Aces have seen a lot of left-handed hurdlers in this series. 2-2. Line to left and through, a base hit. Here come the Aces. First and second, 1 away.
Yeah, big hit for Robbie, who's been struggling a bit at the plate in this series. It's a good start for him.
So here's Greg Bird. Second consecutive season with the Aces where he's appeared in all 40 games. Of course, getting a start here in the final one today. Hitting .319, a 12-game on-base streak to end the year. You got to look at that Glendinning single. Got a curveball and top spinned it in the left. I mean, talk about another high-impact year for Bird. As the first pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. So reliable, both in this clubhouse and in the heart of this order. A 1. Good spot, 0-2.
It's a nice pitch.
Greg will have to battle here. Daryl George on deck. Breaking ball backs up, misses upstairs, 1-2. It's a little bit of a funky delivery from McGraw, and I'm sure that makes it a little bit harder to pick up. We talked about it with Van Steensel yesterday, who recorded the final 3 outs for the Giants. 1-2. Weak wave and a miss for strike 3. Had Bird fooled. First strikeout for McGraw. 2 away now for Daryl George. So essentially the same spot that Adelaide had brewing. Now here for the Aces. Melbourne, of course, will look for a different result.
Don't see that very often, do you? Greg Bird
Georgie, what's up, mate?
sort of hesitating.
Maybe had that slow breaking ball in the back of his
Yeah.
mind.
Yep. Don't think you'll see it again. Very rare.
Well, here's Daryl George with 2 away. Both runners will go on contact. Again, that's Dale at second, Glendinning over at first base. Win and in today for the Aces.
What's up?
Upstairs, 1-0. Talked about it a couple days now, but Daryl has really been showing emotion himself. Talked about Jesse, too, in these high-leverage moments. Of course, he's been a part of so many Aces playoff teams, so he knows what it takes. Skied out to right. Knight towards the line. Does he have room? It's out of play.
Just out of play.
Count even at 1.
Mentioned wind is not a huge factor, but it is blowing left to right, so it would have taken that out of play, which is normally what you see here at the ballpark. So if you're going to see the long ball, potentially it would probably be right center rather than left, but we've seen plenty to all parts of the park, Max.
We saw that Spence ball out to left center get knocked down. It's a good point. 1-1. Well outside, 2-1. Well, we mentioned how lengthy of an inning it was for Jesse. Similar story here for McGraw. This will be pitch number 19 for him. Dale ready to go with good speed at second base. Represents what would be the go-ahead run for the Aces. Line sharply into the gap. Right center field, and the Aces strike first. Dale scores. Glendinning to third. Diebel's going to wave him. Let's see the relay. Spence's throw on a hop the tag in time. That'll end the inning. It will still be an RBI double for Daryl George. Aces in a pivotal contest take an early 1-0 lead. We get to the top of the second. We're just getting started here in Melbourne. Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. The Aces get on the board first on the Daryl George RBI double. Robbie Glendinning thrown out at the plate to end the inning, trying to stretch across another run. As we'll get a look at it right here. Let's see. George sends this one deep in the alley in right center field. There's no question Dale's going to score. It was the shortstop, Liam Spence, on the right side of the second base bag, who ends up picking up the relay throw. And he throws a strike to Louis Albrecht, the catcher, to retire Glendinning by a couple of steps or so. There's Dale coming around to score. Then you can see Albrecht. He knows there's a play at the plate and a perfect throw and a hop just to get Glendinning.
And a nice play by Briley Knight to get that thing into the infield quickly.
Absolutely. Well, the Aces still have the lead, and again, they need to win this game. It'll be Diego Gonzalez to lead things off against Chase Jesse. Steve Kent up at the bullpen for the Aces, currently getting warmed up down the right field line in case Jesse gets into trouble. So we could be seeing a bullpen game here today for the Aces. And we talked about it. Their pitching depth is a little bit thinner than they would like at this time, but got to do with what you're given. And you know what? It's game number 40, and they're still in position for a postseason spot.
Yeah, so Stephen Kent out there just kind of warming up.
You used the term earlier, all hands on deck.
Absolutely.
Well, Diego Gonzalez had a really good night yesterday. Hit his first homer of the season, drove in 4. Really broke that game open for the Giants as Jesse's first pitch runs outside.
Kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it? Got that single that he was so excited about. First hit in a while, I believe. And then jacks that home run over the fence.
Here's the 1-0. Slashed foul the other way. Count evens up at 1-1. For what it's worth, it doesn't necessarily matter as much for the Aces anymore. The Heat lead 4-0 at Sydney. But with the Brisbane loss, or Brisbane win over Canberra, the Aces are in with a win today no matter what. Just would juggle the seeding a little bit. Next pitch misses upstairs 2-1. The other thing to keep in mind is if there is a three-way tie, the Aces have the advantage of both of those circumstances, although Canberra now in a trickier spot later today for Game 2. Up and away, 3-1, and Jesse struggling with his command again here, this time now in the second.
You're right, it's all high, isn't it? Missing high.
Kind of some arm side fade at that, too. 3-1. Up and away, ball 4. Third walk allowed by Jesse. 2 to lead off innings today.
Comes another guy with power back in the lineup, Nico Holsizer. Saw him struggle in left field the other night, but no struggling at the plate.
And I'll tell you what, it was a tough day for him. Still at a homer. His offensive numbers are so good. I mean, take that tough night in left away. It's the only time we've seen him this year in person. I mean, 7 homers, 19 runs batted in, hitting .302. Got to be careful with him. Jesse's first one. Up and away, continues to miss arm side and high, 1-0.
Watching his preparation before the game, very meticulous and just stretching and getting ready, was really, really focused.
.1-0. Upstairs, 2-0. To Holsizer, swing and a miss, a huge rip, 2-1.
You get a look at Jesse. Hot day, 30-ish. 28, I think, at first pitch.
2-1. Strike called, top of the zone, 2-2. Jesse picked up a pivotal couple of strikeouts. Swingrove and McArdle, the 2 most powerful hitters in this lineup, arguably, to get out of that jam in the first inning. Two. Up and away, 3-2. Gonzalez with decent speed at first base. 3-2. Just a little bit inside, a really close spot. Back-to-back walks. That's now 4 from Jesse. First and second with nobody out. And already here comes John Diebel, and it looks like they'll go to Steve Kent here, the veteran. So that'll be it for Chase Jesse. Gets through the first unscathed. He'll be responsible for Gonzalez at first, make that at second, and Holsizer at first. Steve Kent into the game. We'll be back after this as you take a look at some of the scores around the ABL.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Steve Kent will take over on the mound for the Aces. They've got a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. Need to mention Jeff Lund, Taxation and Accounting, providing professional accounting and tax services. Call 0409-431-439. Let them keep your business in order today. Jeff Lund, Taxation and Accounting. Looking at the Adelaide Giants, Briley Knight, and that's Diego Gonzalez, who's on second. Nico Holsizer is on first. And Chase Jesse has only lasted 1 inning. He's given up 4 walks. Did strike out 2 in that first inning to keep Adelaide off the board, but wasn't able to find the strike zone enough. And now with 2 men on, John Diebel has gone to the bullpen and gotten the veteran left-hander Steve Kent, who we have seen a number of times this season. Kent, of course, one of the ABL veterans, been around forever. You know what you're going to get from him, a good, consistent, honest outing. Ed White and Max Tanzer with you here on a warm Sunday afternoon. The equation is very simple. If the Aces win, they are in the postseason. Doesn't get much easier than that.
Got to take care of business here.
Yep.
Tough spot to inherit for Kent, but, I mean, he's as experienced as anyone on this Aces pitching staff. A guy who's shown the ability to start, did so against Sydney last weekend, and while it's not a start today, I'm sure John Diebel will get as much out of him as he can. Here's Briley Knight, corners in, middle back. Jesse responsible for the 2 runners on. First pitch. Shows bunt, gets it back to the mound. Kent picks it up. A good play and a big one. Shovels to McCullough. Sacrifice 1-3, 1 away. Both runners move station to station.
Yeah, it's always tough, I think, when you come into the game for the first time, Max, and have to field a bunt like that. But as you mentioned, Kent, veteran, seen that 1,000 times, so was able to make that play. Does move the 2 runners along, and now we've got Louis Albrecht, who's kind of been thrust into the starting role after the injury to Kaikuto in Game 1, and Albrecht's done really well, hitting very well.
2 doubles in this series, was 1 for 2 yesterday. Infield back for the Aces, so they'll exchange an out for a run. Again, leading 1-0 on that George RBI double. Top of the order on deck as well. First one from Kent. Down and away, 1-0. Kent, 35 years old, 1-0. Popped up first base side and out of play. 1-1 has played in every single modern ABL season. Got started with Canberra in the 2010-11 campaign. This year so far, this will be his 13th outing. He's made 1 start, 20 2/3 of a frame's work, 2.61 ERA. Opponents are just hitting 200 against him. I mean, had a really good year last year, more in a starting role, and he's been even better statistically this year. Gonzalez at third, Holsizer at second. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball by him. 1-2.
Fans still rolling into the ballpark, Max. People still coming in.
Hey, if you're listening at home right now,
Come on in.
come on in. The Aces can win and advance to the postseason. You want to be a part of it, right?
Tell them Max sent you.
And Ed, of course. 1-2 the count on Albrecht. First pitch. Make it the 1-2 pitch. He's upstairs. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Albrecht has driven it 6 this season. Has a homer to his name as well. Has really split the time with Kaikuto, but due to his apparent injury, it's the 3rd consecutive start and 4th game behind the plate overall for Albrecht in this series. He's been working hard back there. 2-2. Popped up, out of play. Count holds. There have been a couple of other crazy ABL regular season finales in terms of tiebreakers and so forth. Perth had one a couple years ago where if they won, they would be in, but the game got rained out, so they didn't end up making it. Go back to the inaugural season in 2010 and 11, and there were about 5 teams tied with each other. It was wild. So another one for the history books here today. 2-2 again is buried in the dirt. Good stop from Edwards. Count full at 3-2. The way it's all kind of unfolded too, you wake up and Brisbane is on at 11 a.m. Melbourne time, 10 a.m. local time to finish their game after the rain suspension overnight last night. They come back down 2-0 to win it 5-2 over Canberra to set up an ace spot where they control their destiny. 3-2 is lined out to right center field. Glendinning back. It's well over his head and off the wall. Adelaide going to try and take the lead here. Holsizer getting the wave. He scores a 2-run double for Albrecht, and the Giants lead 2-1.
He's Mr. Double, isn't he? You mentioned he had 2 doubles coming into it, and he really ripped that one.
All of them out the other way, too, to right center field. And that one was a rocket that just continued to rise over Glendinning's head. So here's the top of the lineup now, and Nick Ward. Both of those runs charged to Jesse. Again, those walks, especially leading off the inning, can always come back to haunt you. Ward walked back in the first inning. So Kent will look to limit the damage here. Still plenty of time in this game left for Melbourne. First one. Down low, 1-0.
Yeah, that was, like you said, taking advantage of things. A couple of walks, then a nice bunt from Knight moves him over. Albrecht delivers with a double. It's good baseball.
It is, and that's what Adelaide's known for, especially this year. In this series, too. Popped up on the infield. McCullough started in, but now scoots back onto the outfield grass. 2 away.
You can see a little tricky with the wind there, but Morgan makes the play.
Makes way to Liam Spence now. Get another look right here. This is the Albrecht double. Such a compact swing. Watch it rise over Glendinning's head.
Yeah. Just took off.
Initially, I thought Robbie might have had a chance to
So
get
did
there.
I.
And that would have been huge, of course, because it would have likely led to the sac fly instead of the 2-run score. Spence flew out to left, hit it pretty well. The wind knocked it down a bit. Albrecht at second will go on contact here. First pitch from Kent is taken for a strike, 0-1.
Looks worse than it is. He's set up in and he catches it on the outside corner.
Spence didn't love the call, but looked pretty good. I will say strike zone's been a little tight early on, so maybe that's what he was looking at.
Kent set. 0-1. Just a little bit low. Count evens up. It has been a little bit tight. Not particularly bad, but if you're a pitcher, you don't like it.
It's been consistent. No argument there, but it has been tighter than we've seen in the series so far.
One.
That's there, though.
Perfectly placed. Strike 2.
Great pitch.
Just a little high there. 1-2.
Aces will send up 6, 7, 8 in their lineup in the second inning. McCullough will lead it off. One, 2. Looped out to right. Could be trouble. McCullough back. Reaches up and makes the catch. Saves a run. Oh, that's a big play. Keeps it a 1-run deficit for the Aces as we head to the bottom of the second. Morgan McCullough showing off the hops towards his backside. 2-1 Adelaide. We'll be back after this.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. 2-1 Adelaide on the 2-run double from Louis Albrecht, and the Giants have taken the lead. There's a look at Dan McGraw, former Melbourne Ace, now Adelaide Giant. Gave up a run in the first. Let's get another look at the first, the double from Albrecht right here. Couple runners on. Oh, no, this is actually the looper out to second, and McCullough. Look at this, reaching up over the shoulder, lays out, makes the catch, saves a run.
Robbie just walks by him. Nice catch.
Robbie, a former middle infielder himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the Aces will send up Morgan McCullough to start things off. I wonder if he's had a chance to catch his breath. I mean, that's when sometimes you see guys get the wind knocked out of them. But a really good play from Morgan in a huge spot. Well, a rare 0 for McCullough yesterday. Entered 7-for-8 in this series. Did walk, so he's continued to get on base in every game of this 9-game homestand, including round 9 versus Sydney, as that one's taken outside 1-0. Hitting .380 now on the season. 1-0. Shows bunt, dribbles it up the first baseline and foul. 1-1. Talked to him yesterday about doing the little things and trying to pick up a base hit right there.
What are the odds you got a Seattle guy behind the plate and a Seattle guy at the plate?
That is right.
Albrecht, of course, and McCullough, both from the Seattle area.
Albrecht from Kent, McCullough from West Seattle. 1-1 the count here. Got 2 Seattleites in the booth, too.
That's too
crazy. Fouled straight back, 1-2. Mitchell Edwards on deck. Then it'll be Jared Belbin the follow.
You're good.
Time called, granted to McCullough. Maybe some flies in his eyes.
Imagine that. Why would you think that, Max?
I don't know. I didn't know flies existed here.
They were all over us in the pregame shooting our video.
1-2. That one slipped out of his hands. That was a curveball. Again, no intent. You can see McGraw.
4 more as well.
Make sure him and McCullough all good. 2-2.
That just clearly got away from him.
Sometimes that curveball, it's a little bit hard to grip.
Yep.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Well, that might have set up that pitch. Another breaking ball, and it gets McCullough to chase. Second strikeout for McGraw. 1 up, 1 down to the second.
You think he deliberately did that to set that
up? Maybe not deliberately, but that breaking ball starts inside and then
it works.
Drifts off the outside corner. So here's Mitch Edwards now. Swing and a miss out in front, 0-1. Edwards back behind the plate. Saw him DH yesterday. Went 0 for 3. Again, another opportunity to swing from the right side where he has been so good this year. Again, a switch hitter. Sprayed away, 0-2.
Hey, bounce back. Someone's going to get a ball.
Who's going to get it? A fight 1-on-1, and there we go.
That kid was quick.
Yeah.
Really quick.
0-2. Down low, really good take. 1-2.
1-2.
Swing and a miss. Got him to chase. 3 strikeouts now for McGraw. 2 consecutive to open up the second for Jared Belbin.
Perth leading Sydney, bottom of the fourth.
First pitch to Jared, upstairs 1-0.
That doesn't really impact the Aces at all, to be honest.
Had Canberra won the first game with Brisbane, the Aces had another path to get in, winning today, and a Perth loss to Sydney.
Yep.
But now that Canberra's lost already, Aces have it all in front of them right now. Just need to win today, and then they're going back to the postseason. Strike called 1-2.
That would be very disappointing if you're a Canberra fan as well. They started the year so well. They were playing such good ball. Just dropped off here in the last part of the season.
And they had a lot of it in their control as well. I mean, you could argue the same for the Aces. I'm sure there's certain moments in the season they'd like to go back to.
Yep.
I mean, at this point, that's where everyone is going to reflect on now. It's literally decided by the final game of the regular season for everyone except both Sydney and Adelaide, who've already clinched their spots. Both of them will host. Sydney the 1 seed, Adelaide the 2 seed. Perth is in now. Just a matter of where they'll be seated. 2-2 now the count on Melbourne. Adelaide, of course, veterans of the postseason since the beginning of the 2020s. They'll be looking for their third consecutive Claxton Shield. Sydney returning to the postseason after some time away. So that one's fouled straight back, and watch out in the seats as that one pinballs around. Still 2-2.
Fair few souvenirs going around today.
Two. Down low, count now full. Melbourne broke out of an 0-for-14 stretch with a 2-run single and the 16-run win back on Friday evening for the Aces. There's that foul ball. Twelve runs batted in for him, 2 homers, has some pop. Payoff. Swing and a miss. Good changeup from McGraw. Strike 3.
Wow.
Inning over. He K's the side. He now has 4 on the day as we head to the top of the third. Adelaide leads 2-1.
That change up when he gets it going, eh?
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialty. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Welcome back to the ballpark. There you go, the Sporting Globe Barn and Grill. Can't say any better than that. Eat, drink, sport, Max. Wings, burgers, ribs, more. 50 screens at every location. Private booths and touchscreen TVs. The Werribee location is open again. Ballarat location. Half price wings and ribs every Monday. Of course, all the sport you can digest. Australian sport, Big Bash, American sport, NFL, NBA. Maybe they get the baseball game on.
Yeah.
Flick us on, flick the YouTube on. Sporting Globe, great place to go.
That burger looks delicious.
Yes, it does.
Oh, my gosh. I got to go grab one myself. Well, the Aces trail 2-1 as we begin the top of the third inning. The big knock for Adelaide, the 2-run double from Louis Albrecht. And Steve Kent out for his first full inning of work after Chase Jesse got the start today. 3, 4, and 5 due up. Here's Jared Carr to lead things off. He's now reached base in 17 consecutive games. Lofts this out to right into the wind turbine. Glendenning's back to the track, so is Whitefield. It's gone. 17-game hit streak for Jared Carr, and he extends it in a loud way out to deep right center field, and it's 3-1 Giants.
I just had a gut feeling when he hit that, Max, that the way the wind's been playing out there, that it was going to carry. We saw the one go over Glendenning's head, and you could just see Whitefield and Glendenning turn and watch it fly. He's not a huge guy, but he's got some power.
Plenty of it now. 5 homers in 19 games. He has been so good. Here's Rickson Wingrove now. Wind to the first one from Kent. A couple of Team Australia mates going at him. That one's taken low 1-0.
Carr's a good fielder as well, too. He's just, again, one of those guys. Perfect guys for the ABL, Max. Good hitter, good fielder, good team guy, fast.
Popped up on the infield, and it's out of play. Slices
Oh.
away. Into the seats. Look
Oh,
out.
wow.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, you got to be careful. Ooh.
Just missed that girl over there, but to her credit, she got out of the way.
She did. Good reaction time. And that one in the air for a long time, too.
It was.
Blue skies above, hard to pick it up, I'm sure. 1-1 is taken low, 2-1.
Well, it's hard enough for these guys out here to do it, much less somebody in the stands. I was watching a guy that kind of had a bead on it, so I knew it was going to drop, but I didn't expect it to drop there.
It's a hard angle, too, because your back is facing it, so it actually spins into you. 3-1 now to count on Wingrove. They always talk about it with catchers. One of the deceptive hard plays is the pop-up and foul ground behind home plate, because instead of coming in on it, it's actually spinning back to you. So you'll see the catchers turn their backs to the infield like they're an outfielder. Fouled straight back, 3-2. But a lot of times you're anticipating it to come down, and it just continues to spin back behind your head.
Yep.
It's so tricky. Obviously, all these guys, professionals, they make it look easy, but it's the same angle when you're in the stands a lot of times. It's not coming to you. It starts behind you, and then, or it starts in front of you and then spins behind you. Here's the 3-2 now from Kent.
Oh, nice, did he go?
Down low, he did not go. Another walk. 5th of the day for the Aces pitching staff. And still nobody out at 1 on. Here's another look at the Carr homer. He pitched from Kent, a hanging breaking ball, and Carr demolished it out to deep right center field. So he'll finish his season playing in 19 games, and he didn't reach base in just one of them. First pitch to McArdle is down low 1-0. Talking about Jared Carr, of course. Hits in 18 of his 19 games. A 17-game hit streak to finish the season going into the playoffs.
That's nuts.
Welcome to Australia. He probably likes it here, I'd imagine. Sees the ball really well. Slashed foul and out of play. 1-1 here. Again, as we mentioned earlier, that's a franchise record 17-game hit streak for Carr. Of course, for Adelaide. Broke it yesterday, but just continues to add on to it. Of course, those postseason games don't particularly count because they're not regular season games, but maybe he comes back next year, adds on to it. We saw Aaron Whitefield rack up a 20-game hit streak for the Aces that ventured from the 23-24 season to the 24-25 season this year. So it still counts even if there is a gap in the offseason. 2-1. Line sharply past Bird, past Wingrove as well, into right for a knock. Some hard contact off of Kent in this inning. First and second with nobody out. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Ed. The Aces are still well into this game, but you just cannot let Adelaide blow it open.
Yeah, which we've talked about it many times. They've got the lineup that allows you to do that. A lot of power, even down to, Holzheiser's hitting at, 7?
And he's hitting over 307 bombs.
Knight's hitting at 8. He went long yesterday. Albrecht's hitting 9th. Seen what he's done.
And then to couple that with their pitching staff. I mean, it's an incredibly deep team. First pitch to Gonzalez, taken down low 1-0.
However the playoffs shake up, it's going to be fascinating to watch.
Oh, for sure.
Sydney, Adelaide, Perth are rolling, and any of the other, hopefully the Aces, but either of the other two.
1-0. Popped up, shallow right field. Glendinning, the wind now tugs it deeper. Caps to make the catch. Wingrove will tag. Here's Robbie's throw on a couple of hops, not in time.
Good speed from the big fella.
So a fly out to right. I'm sure he'll be talking to Robbie about that one at some point later in the summertime. Runners at the corners now with one down. And that's an important piece of base running from Wingrove. Now puts him 90 feet away with one away. So a healthy fly ball from Holsizer could give the Giants another run.
Yeah, it's good heads-up baseball.
Dennis Neal starting to heat up in the bullpen for the Aces. All lefties so far today. Double play in order. McArdle at first. Wingrove at third. One run in on the Carr homer. Popped up. That could be a break. Will it stay in play? Edwards watches it fly into the seats. All the way out of here. 0-1.
That was the first thing I thought of too, Max. There's a break if you can induce a pop-up.
Pop-up or a sharp ground ball does the job.
Yep.
Sizer walked back in the second inning. Will come around to score on the Albrecht RBI double. 0-1. Upstairs. Count evens up. Wind continues to just carry out to right. It's gotten harder as we've gotten deeper into this game.
Yeah, indeed it has.
1-1. 2-1 now. The Aces have been behind in counts all day long.
2-1.
And they've had to battle through it. Really tough Adelaide lineup here. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Giants. 1 run, 2 hits for the Aces. 2-1. Strike called. Quality pitch, 2-2.
Also, you didn't like that call. That reaction. It's a big pitch here. 2-2. 1 out.
Two. Swing and a miss. Rode the fastball upstairs, 2 away.
That's big.
First strikeout for Kent on the day. He's an out away from getting out of another jam. There's the pitch earlier in the at-bat at the knees for strike 2, and then here's that fastball upstairs. Top shelf.
Yeah, it's great from Kent. I think he's probably fortunate that he got that second strike call, I'll be honest with you. That looked pretty low to me.
Here's Briley Knight. Out on a sacrifice in the second inning, led to that Albrecht double. Finds the outside corner, 0-1. So Knight did not record an at-bat. Of course, dropping him one down to set up a good run-scoring spot. Wingrove at third, McArdle at first. Kent settles the 0-1. Looped foul, 0-2. Aces will send up 9-1-2 in the third. They'll see McGraw for a second time through. Maybe that can help them get something going. It was the middle third of the lineup that pushed across the first run of the night, or the day, back in the first for Melbourne. Kent still got some work to do here. 0-2 the count with 2 away, 1 run in here in the third. 0-2. Jack's swing almost got him to go. 1-2. It's been such a good ABL career for Kent. Second all-time in wins. Second in appearances. 1-2. Just got a piece. Stays alive. 1-2. Fifth in innings pitched. Second all-time in modern ABL strikeouts. I mean, he's done it all. As we mentioned earlier, has pitched in every season of the modern rendition of this league. Aces need him here. 1-2. Upstairs, count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The inning continues. It's Albrecht on deck, who's done some damage already. Two. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball by him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kent. Limits the damage to 1 after the homer to Carr. We get to the bottom of the third. Aces trail 3-1. Still in this ball game. Plenty of time left. They need a win to get into the postseason. We'll be back after this.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. A little dancing going on, the YMCA, as these Aces fans look to see their Aces go dancing into the postseason here. They trail 3-1. They need to win this game to get in, but still plenty of time left. 7 trips to the plate, 21 outs to play with here, as Dan McGrath comes out for his third inning of work. Got into some trouble in the first inning, allowed a run, but a really quick second where he struck out the side end.
Yeah, he's been good. As I said, knows the ballpark. I don't know if that helps at all, but he has certainly been here and been around, having played for the Aces on a couple of different occasions. So I think the Aces, look, we know the Aces pitching has sort of been cobbled together a little bit, as you mentioned, kind of a bullpen day, whatever you want to call it. So the bats are going to have to get it done here, I think, because you've got some dangerous hitters. Adelaide, I think, is going to put up a couple more runs. Aces need to get some across the board as well.
Here's Chris Burke to lead things off, his first at-bat of the day. 9-1-2 for the Aces. First pitch is fouled away. 0-1. Burke looking to finish a really good season strong. He's struggled a little bit as of late. Now down to 263, but has been so consistent at the bottom of this lineup for Melbourne. Trying to set the table here. 0-1. Outside, counting things up. 3 homers, 1 shy of a career high. All 3 of those homers came in about a stretch of 2-3 rounds or so. 1-1. Good take on a breaking ball. 2-1. Again, McGraw's not going to overpower you. It's the breaking and off speed offerings that slow you down and then speeds you up with that fastball that he seemingly hides really well. 2-1. Tapped, third base side, going to be a tough play for Ward. He lets it go foul. What an astute play from the Adelaide third baseman. If he touches that in fair territory, it's a base hit for Burke.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to throw Chris out on that, so he makes a really smart move.
Just some English on it, too, that trickled foul.
Yeah, I wonder if he noticed that or if he just basically figured there's no way you're going to get Berkey and I might just gamble that it goes out.
It was a little bit of a gamble. Look at that. It seemed that it was on a trajectory to go past the bag in fair territory, but checked.
If you ask him, he said, I knew it was going foul all the way.
It wasn't hit that hard, too, so if it was fair, let's say, I mean, maybe Burke could have stretched it. It worked out, though, as you alluded to. 2-2 the count here on Berkey. Pitch. Good take on the changeup. That's gotten a couple chases today from McGraw. Burke lays off 3-2.
Yep.
Aaron Whitefield on deck. By the way, Brisbane and Canberra just getting underway at Vidicon Stadium over in Queensland. 3-2. Chopped wide of first. Wingrove off the bag. It's off his glove. And Burke reaches. That's a huge break. And now the top of the lineup flips over to Aaron Whitefield.
I think that would have been a tough play anyway, even if Wingrove had fielded that. But
Burke does run really well. It was just a question. I couldn't see if McGraw was over to cover the bag in time, too. Take another look.
Yeah, he's getting there.
At this point, it's a race between Burke and pitcher McGraw.
Yeah, I think that would have been close anyway.
We'll get you an official ruling shortly. Here's Aaron Whitefield. Strike called, 0-1.
Whitey due for a big hit. He's had plenty of them. I just thought I'd say that.
They give Chris Burke a hit, so that leads off the inning.
Yep. Makes sense.
0-1. Grounded to third. What a stop from Ward. Slings to second for one. That's all they'll get. That's a huge play, though. If that gets past him, it's extra bases, and Burke's probably at third. Burke's still on second base. Did they call him safe, or did Gonzalez come off the bag? No, he's walking back now.
John Diebel's out there saying...
I think he was saying that Gonzalez stepped off the bag while trying to receive the ball and make a throw to first. Let's get another look at this. Of course, it's not going to get overturned, I don't think. But here it is as Dale steps in. Really good play from Ward, playing even, defending the bunt. And maybe they thought Gonzalez came... Ooh, maybe. Again, tough to see from that angle. First pitch to Dale. First pitch swinging, and it's popped up on the infield. Wingrove and foul ground. Squeezes it for out number 2. So it's a 5-4 fielder's choice against Whitefield and a pump out to first for Dale. Here's a look again. This is a better angle right here. Oh, man. Tough to see when the ball was in his glove.
We didn't see that. His foot definitely was off there, but you're right. We didn't see before that.
But you could see the questioning there from both Burke and Diebel. But, again, that's a tough one to overturn without the replays and so forth.
Yeah.
Here's Glendinning. Good speed at first at Whitefield. First one. Huge foul out in front. 0-1. Robbie singled to left his first time up. Whitefield not going there, and McGraw looks him back. Aaron sitting on 97 stolen bases, 3 away from becoming the first ABL player to reach 100. Also has got 8 on the season. 0-1. Down and away, 1-1.
If his knee was in better shape, he probably would have reached that by now. You'd back him.
Somehow, some way, still moves at the speed of light with the knee hurting. Fouled away, 1-2.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even seeing him run out that ground ball right there, he looked like he was going 100%, but you got to imagine there's more in there given that he is a little banged up. Glendinning behind, 1-2 here. Greg Bird on deck. 1-2. Up and away, count evens up. Next pitch will be number 50 for McGraw here. Aces have made him work a bit. 2 outs here in the third. 2-2. Swing and a miss. A late wave at a fastball. 5 strikeouts for McGraw as that ends the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left as we head to the top of the fourth. It's 3-1 Giants.
Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark, 3-1 Adelaide as we head to the top of the fourth. SEN is your home for sport. Download the SEN app to listen live to SEN's network of stations. Get the best news and live coverage in Australia. Enter tipping contests, catch the latest AFL, horse racing, cricket, and much, much more. SEN, download the app today. Ed Wyatt, Max Tanzer back here with you, and Steve Kent continues on the mound for the Aces.
Yeah, and aside from the homer to Jared Carr and the double to Albrecht, he's looked good stuff-wise. It's just been traffic on the base paths and a couple of big swings from Adelaide. 9-1-2 due up here for the Giants. Louis Albrecht leads things off, who picked up that 2-run double off of Kent back in the second. Those 2 runs, though, were charged to Chase Jesse's line. And the Aces, at this point, will look back at the free passes. They've walked 5 as a staff today. Middle third of this ball game begins now. 3-1 Adelaide your score. First pitch is chased for strike 1. And the Aces need to win this game to get into the postseason. Otherwise, that Brisbane and Canberra game turns into a play-in game for those two.
Hey, imagine they're watching this, I would think.
And Brisbane leads 1-0 in that one at the bottom of the first inning.
Is that right? They are just on a tear.
Home run for Will Riley. So
Wow.
Theoretically, if this score holds and Adelaide beats Melbourne and Brisbane holds on to their lead, they're in.
They're in.
After being at the cellar for literally the entire season.
How far back were they, too?
0-2. A little bit low, 1-2. Well, I'll tell you one thing's for sure. They really got hot when they were here in Melbourne. Dropped the first 2 games
They did.
of that series in round 7 and then won 3 consecutive games in a row, capped by the Brendan McNair 3-homer game. He's got 11 this year. That one's taken down low. County Bits up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, to think 6 rounds into the season, I don't want to say they were irrelevant because they weren't, and obviously look where they're at now, but I think most people were saying, all right, we don't have to worry about them if you're one of the other 5 teams.
You're right.
2-2. Grounded sharply past Dale into center, and Albrecht is having himself a series. Another base hit. This one leads off the 4th.
Yeah, I mean, to my point earlier, you would have said Canberra are a shoo-in to make the top 4, and Brisbane are long gone. We don't have to worry about them, as you just said. It's completely flip-flop now. Canberra struggling. Shane Watson's done an amazing job getting that team back into it. And
yeah.
They're playing for a spot in the playoffs.
And if you go back even to before round 9, Canberra was playing Perth, and they really struggled in that series. They've now lost 5 in a row to end the season, potentially going to go up to 7 now as the loss today makes it 6 in a row.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
If they lose today, they will have lost 7 in a row and would finish in last place. I mean, what
Yeah, it's
turn
astounding.
of events.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's not like they've had a bad season either. Just a tough finish. Upstairs 2-0. Versus for the Aces on their side of the ball, it's been a little bit more volatile, might be the right word.
Yeah, up and down.
They've had some really good series where they look like arguably the best team in the league, and then the next series they might struggle.
Yeah.
You know, maybe drop 3 of 4 or struggle on the offensive side of things. 2-0. Strike called 2-1. But even if you look at how they've played the last 2 weeks, talking about Melbourne, they took 3 out of 5 from Sydney, who's the number 1 seed, back last weekend. They scored 16 runs against the Giants back on Friday night. Lost a fairly tight one, 6-3 on Thursday. Yesterday was really the only one where they got blown out. Upstairs 3-1. And they're still in this game. Again, work to do, but it's just been a wild season on all ends of the ball for every team. And to see Sydney go from worst to first. Got to give Brooke Knight so much credit.
Yep.
Hitters count for Nick Ward, top of the order for Adelaide. Pitch is fouled off of Edwards. Count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Albrecht at first after the leadoff single. Three-two, runner goes. Pitch is lined to first. Bird snatches it, takes it to the bag, no problem. Albrecht on the run, had no chance to get back. A 3 unassisted double play brought to you by Master Dry Cleaners.
How about that?
He has had a day over there at first base.
Hey, he's been great in the field in this series.
So that wipes away the leadoff single. Here's Liam Spence now. Yeah, talk about Greg Bird yesterday. How many ground balls did he get? We'll count them up. Made a couple plays lunging towards his right, too. First pitch to Spence. Taken for a strike, 0-1. Let's see. 3 unassisted, 3 unassisted, 3-1. Let's get another look at it.
That was hit really hard, but right at him. Nice leap. And just a walk back to first. Double play.
5 ground balls to him yesterday, recorded for out.
There you go.
Well, you know what? 6. I take that back. Now 7 after that one. Down low, 2-1. Spence 0 for 2, flew out to left, popped out to second. Kent from the wind, the 2-1. Lined sharply to center, but Whitefield has it blown right to him. Makes the catch on his heels to end the inning. Steve Kent's done a good job keeping the Aces in this game. The Bats are looking to get going when we come back. A must-win game for the Aces to stay alive as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Adelaide up 3-1.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Getting ready for the bottom of the fourth inning. There's a look at Dan McGraw, who has been really good. And here's a look at that Greg Bird double play. You can see Albrecht take off to steal from first, and Bird in front of the bag holding him on. Has to leap up to make this catch, and then Albrecht is a dead duck after that. Bird just has to step on the pillow for the 3 unassisted double play.
That's a big play, too, because Albrecht easily gets to third if that gets through.
Well, good stuff from Eric Ballner is he was listening and shared a really good nugget with us. There have been 4 teams now in the ABL to go from worst to first. Sydney most recently doing it this year. A win percentage jump of 123 points for them. They went from 275 to 615. Again, the 275 was the worst of the 4 teams. First pitch to Bird, rolled foul, 0-1. Brisbane did it in 2020 going into 2022. Of course, there wasn't a season in between that due to the pandemic.
Yep.
That was the largest win percentage jump, 144% or so. 0-1's inside, look out. And that gets Bird right on the elbow guard, hopefully, and I think that's the case. He seems to be okay, and McGraw will check on him as well. Again, no intention there, and a leadoff base runner for the Aces. Thank you again, as always, Eric. He's been working hard this weekend with all the calculations.
I can't imagine the calculator he's got working, the computer. There's a look at that. Did go off that elbow guard, which is why they wear elbow guards.
Yes, indeed. Is that a Russell elbow guard? I'm sure they feel good after ensuring they helped Greg out right there.
Whew.
Don't want to give credit to the wrong brand, so let's just say we don't know what brand that was. It was hard to see from there. Here's Daryl George, doubled in a run his first time, and he grounds this one to third. Could be two. Ward to second. Gonzalez's throw in time.
Gonzalez made sure he had his foot on the bag that time.
5-4-3 double play, and that wipes away the leadoff hit by pitch. And now 2 pitches and 2 outs here from McGraw. Another look at it, a tough one for the Aces. They've had leadoff base runners in back-to-back innings.
I thought that Ward took his time there, but I forgot that Gonzalez has that cannon. So even if you get it there a little bit late, he's going to get that thing over to first like that.
Here's McCullough, 0-1. Up the line and foul, 0-2. Well, McGraw needs a quick inning here. Again, now up over 54 pitches or so. Was up over 50 to start the inning, but now at 55 with 2 outs here in the fourth. So pitch kind of much better shape after the 3 pitches it took to get those first 2 outs here.
Indeed.
0-2. Breaking ball upstairs, 1-2. For those curious about that Brisbane-Canberra game, again, Brisbane leading 1-0. That's a 7-inning game. So
Oh, that's right, it is.
Canberra will have to get the bats going quickly.
And it could end roughly around the same time as our game.
It can. We're in
Could.
the fourth. They're in the first, so it depends. Maybe some quick innings over in Brisbane, and man, would that be good. That would be theater. Aces still in this game, down by 2. They have to win to get into the postseason. Ruled foul off the foot of Morgan. Would have been a beautiful bunt as it rolls to the third base bag. Still 2-2.
The only thing I can think of that's similar to this, Max, is when you've got the end of the last year of the English Premier League or the championship, the league below it, and they're playing for promotion and relegation.
Yes.
And some teams win, draw, lose, and you're just going to the wire. This reminds me a little bit of that.
Yes, right. Of course, no relegation here in the
No.
ABL, but
You're relegated out of the playoffs.
same. Yes, there you go. You're relegated out of the next season. The one coming up next week is that one's taken outside 3-2. But you're right, because it's the same impact of even if in the Premier League you're in last place, even though you might be mathematically out of a playoff spot, you are still playing to stay in the league for the next year, and it's a very similar concept here. 3-2. Down low ball 4. 2-out walk. McCullough with really good speed reaches. Makes way to Mitchell Edwards.
And the other thing, and the reason why I thought about it, is because what those leagues do is they play all the games at the same time.
Yes.
So you don't go into a game knowing, oh, we're already out or whatever. So that's kind of the feeling I get now with that other game going and being 7 innings. It could be tight.
That's something that Major League Baseball adopted back in the 2014 season. Every game starts at noon Pacific time and 3 o'clock Eastern time. Down low to Edwards. Did he go? Yes, he did, according to Tom West. 0-1. What's nice about that, too, is sometimes if there's multiple teams with playoff implications, if a game starts later in the day and a team already knows they're in, they might not play their A-guns.
That's exactly
Yeah.
it. That's correct.
Flown foul the other way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It eliminates any of that sort of stuff. We're already in. It doesn't matter. Don't care about this game.
Forces the teams who are in contention that day to still push, even if they become eligible later. 0-2. Got him swinging the changeup again. McGraw has struck out a season high 7 hitters here in Melbourne. He is putting on a clinic against his former club. Top of the 5th on its way. Giants lead at 3-1.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And And we have more than customers. We have fans. It's more than a sports bar. It's a sporting globe.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Top of the fifth inning, Adelaide 3, Aces 1. Quest Flemington, well, they're the accommodation partner of the Melbourne Aces, and they are proud to be the longest-standing sponsor of the ball club. How about that? Quest Flemington, questflemingtoncentral.com.au. We got a new pitcher, Max.
That's right, one of the newer aces, Dennis Neal on the mound, coming out for the second time this series and season for Melbourne, was just added to the roster before round 10, was good in his first outing a couple nights ago. 2 innings, did allow a run, but his stuff looked really good, really decent fastball, and then features a sweeper-shaped breaking ball, a lot of horizontal movement on it, and he'll look to keep the Aces in this game. He'll get a couple of left-handed hitters to open this one up. 3, 4, and 5, Carr, Wingrove, and McArdle, all lefties due up against the Southpaw. By the way, correction for McGraw, 6 strikeouts tonight, still a season high for him. He has been so good, and there's no action in the Adelaide pen, so he'll definitely come out for the 5th. Again, that pitch count in really good shape.
Yeah, we thought initially 5 would be a goal for him. So far, delivering on that. And I look out there. You're right, there's no action, a little bit of stretching and walking around.
McGraw, the third pitcher, make that Neal the third pitcher used by the Aces. All of them have been lefties. Jesse, Kent, and now Dennis Neal. First pitch to Carr. Rounded up the line and foul, 0-1. Carr homered to right center his last time up, his 5th of the season. That gave Adelaide an extra run of insurance. Of course, now lead by 2.
Product of Shepherd University. That's in Shepherdstown, West Virginia.
0-1. Swing and a miss. There goes the bat.
We were due for one of those bat throws, weren't we?
Well, thank goodness the Aces weren't hitting in that one, because that's right where their on deck circle is. That's scary. 0-2. There was that big horizontal breaking ball from Neal, too, and I got a big whiff from Carr. I think that's the second time he's thrown his bat in the series. Is the 0-2. Is strike 3 called, no question about it. Frozen with a heater right over the heart of the plate. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and 1 down for Neal to start his day.
Good start.
Absolutely. After that breaking ball, I think Carr was looking for it again. We'll get another look here. Edwards setting up outside corner, and that was a breaking ball, in fact, and he knew it. So excuse me, there was again.
Nice to see a guy just walk off right, isn't it, instead of arguing it.
Here's Wingrove. First pitch outside, 1-0. Neal, 34 years old, one of the more experienced Aces. This one's popped up to Bird. 2 away, 2 quick outs.
That's the way to work, Max.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, too, the crowd has been a little deflated, I think, after losing that lead early. It feels like the Aces are maybe trying a lot more than they actually are. Here's Jordan McArdle. Again, just trail by 2, a bloop and a blast away.
Yep.
They control their destiny, the Aces. Just got to win this one. They've played comeback plenty of times before this season, especially as of late. Down and away, 1-0. They erased, 3 deficits against Sydney last week, 2 on Friday when Bird hit the walk-off, base hit off the wall. 1-0. Lined through the right side and a right for an knock. Glendinning charges, now bobbles. McArdle will hold it first after an aggressive turn. And you could see Glendinning, an infielder by trade, was hustling in to try and cut down McArdle at first. We've seen him do that a couple of times this year.
Good hitter, McArdle. Wily.
2 for 3 today. Here's Diego Gonzalez. First righty Neal will face, and he drops in a bender, 0-1.
Gonzalez with that big home run yesterday.
Out the other way and right. First of the year for him. Down low, scoots away from Edwards. McArdle into second without a throw. Advances on the wild pitch. Count evens up at 1-1. It's important, a 2-out base runner in scoring position. Go back to Thursday. Adelaide reached 9 times, had 6 hits with 2 outs. 6 hits with runners in scoring position, too. They were all over it, executing in every big spot. Count even at 1. Gonzalez 0 for 1. Walked back in the second and came around the score on the Albrecht double. Breaking ball, backdoor pitch, a strike.
Good pitch.
1-2. Quite a disparity in velocity between his fastball and curveball, and I don't think he's rushing the heater up there, but with how loopy that curveball is, it probably makes the fastball look so much firmer. 1-2. Up and away, tried the bender again. Can't even dump. 2-2. Popped up on the infield. Edwards bumps into Gonzalez. Time called immediately, and they're going to call interference even though this is a foul ball. They might even actually overturn it now, and I think that's the case. Now, if this stayed in play, it would have been called interference on Gonzalez for bumping into Edwards.
3 more balls, please.
Gonzalez apologizes. Again, no intent. He was just running to first base.
It's going to be about
Kind of
me.
got in the path of Mitch. It does look like Mitch was sharing some words with the Adelaide dugout, but hopefully all good. You can see Koki Suzuki padding out.
Stop, Mitch. No arguing with the dugout tonight.
Yeah, we've seen
we don't
that
need
one
that.
before.
We don't need a repeat of that.
2-2. Grounded down the line, just foul. Gonzalez stays alive. That was handled well from Koki Suzuki behind the plate.
Yeah, made the instant call and then obviously overturned it when it was foul. Always tricky, those pop-ups upon home play because the wind is going to get them most of the time.
Absolutely. Long battle between Neal and Gonzalez. McArdle at second will go on contact. 2-2 again. Outside, backed up a little bit, 3-2. Jonathan Tripp standing up in the bullpen, holding a football, I think. He loves that football.
He
That's
does.
part of his warm-up routine.
Yep.
Again, we don't know if he's available today, but the fact that he's suited up out there, no sweatshirt on, it is a hot day. But you just never know in a game like this. 3-2. Ring him up. Strike 3 called. That breaking ball knocks on the back door and picks up a strikeout for Neal. That's his second of the day. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Halfway through this one here in Melbourne, it's 3-1 Adelaide.
Yeah, he didn't say anything. Yeah, he's fine. He's harmless. You just know how to laugh.
Back at Melbourne Ballpark, good crowd on hand tonight. Again, the Aces have filled up this ballpark plenty times this season. Now overall, over 30,000 fans.
How about that?
Come to Aces games.
How
this
about
year.
that? That is so impressive.
A record-breaking crowd at 2,614 here at the ballpark on Friday night. Saw that 16-4 win for the Aces. That was the largest regular season crowd of the season in the ABL, and in a game the Aces have hosted at Melbourne Ballpark ever. Second biggest in franchise history for an Aces game. The other was a playoff game at the Melbourne Showgrounds.
Showgrounds. Remember it well.
Electric crowd?
You would have loved calling it there, Max. We were slightly off center from home plate, so you didn't really get a great read on it.
First pitch from McGraw to Belbin is taken up at away ball 1. Final number for today, 1,503 at the ballpark. A really good crowd.
That is a great Sunday crowd. I can remember the days years ago when, you were happy with 3 digits on a Sunday,
Right.
700, 800. You were happy.
Zach Maraca tells us 7,347 for the series. That's the most in any round for the Aces this year. 30,206 for the season. So they didn't just scrape the 30,000
No.
mark. They blew past it. What a good year, and all credit to Justin Huber, Melissa Orr, Luke Searle. I mean, the entire crew.
Yeah, I
we
forgot
could list
about Searle.
everybody's name.
I just didn't want to give Surly too many props, right? Didn't want to go to his head.
He's the heartbeat of this
He
organization.
certainly is.
Oh, one of my
Yeah.
favorites. 3-1. Oh, that one's cranked. Well fouled. 3-2.
I think that landed on the truck that was just going by on the freeway.
Yeah,
to
watch
Geelong
out over there.
Jeez.
Maybe they're tuning in. Count full here on Belbin. 8-9-1 due up for the Aces here. McGraw has already struck out a season-high 6 today. Belbin shoots it to left. Full sizer over. The wind might blow it back. It will not.
No.
Count still full at 3-2.
Look at that. Popped into that bar area down there, and someone just grabbed a souvenir.
Beautiful.
Just came right in. You obviously got that net over it, but somehow it sneaked back in, and guy just grabbed himself a souvenir. How about that?
That is the fun part about the netting, is you can see it hop there, and then if you could find
Yeah.
a way to get it. Some guys create some gadgets. 3-2's up
Oh.
and in. Buzzes Belbin back. Ball 4. Third consecutive inning with a leadoff base runner for the Aces. They'll look to take advantage of it here. Chris Burke due up.
Is that a walk or a hit by pitch?
I didn't see
Did it
Suzuki
hit
put
him?
his hands up, but
Ah.
we'll see what
I thought
the
it hit
official
it.
ruling was. It could be a hit by pitch. We'll see. Here's another look. Again, it's probably more the sound that you need than the view.
Oh, no. You're right.
Either way, Belbin reaches. Burke singled back in the third inning, an infield knock. Swings at the first pitch, out to the third base side. Ward watches it out of play. 0-1.
I appreciate the hustle from Nick Ward there, but that ball was never going to stay in the play.
Even with the wind blowing against it. Well, I'll tell you what, it's starting to swirl again here. Out to right, it's
Yeah.
blowing out. I guess it is blowing in from left, too.
Yep.
What about the championship in 2015 at Norwood Oval?
I called it. That was the one I called for ESPN and MLB Networks.
Nice.
They built a little stand out on the third base line.
Oh, you've told me about
Yeah,
that
Norwood
one.
is a footy oval. Great old
Oh, that's
footy oval.
interesting. What were the dimensions?
They were crazy.
Right?
I
Because it's
remember-
like you're playing in an oval.
Yeah, I remember there was still you can find it on YouTube. It was a back-to-back Adelaide home runs. One of my better calls. I don't have that many of them, but that was one of my better ones. But, yeah, that was memorable. A lot of fun.
I got to go back and listen. 2-1 is taken outside. Did he go? No, he did not. Taylor Field on the
The
call.
way they built that thing, Dave Nielsen and I were doing the call. We were standing, and then we'd have to do our little stand-up intro, and be people all around you because it was right in. So the pressure was on you to deliver.
Belly of the Beast.
You had
Was
to
it
deliver it.
pre-recorded or live?
That was live.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
On ESPN and MLB Network. Big time. Grounded sharply and through. A base hit. Burke looks back to the dugout, getting them fired up. His second hit of the game. First and second, nobody out.
There we go. Berkey, he's back.
Setting the table, and here's the top of the lineup. Aaron Whitefield will
Berkey
dig
is
in.
back.
Here's Josh Tolles, or Chris Adamson make that to the mound, and we're going to see a change here. We may. And that's going to be it quickly for
Yep.
Dan McGraw. He was so good today. Season high 6 strikeouts. Leaves without recording it out in the 5th. He'll be responsible for both Belbin at second, Burke at first. We got a lefty coming in for Adelaide. Let's take a look at this Burke hit that knocks McGraw out of the game. Gave everything and more for Adelaide today. In a game that doesn't matter too much for them, but they're looking to place some spoiler. We'll be back. We'll tell you all about the new Southpaw after this.
You Riplines Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out.
Back at it at Melbourne Ballpark, and it's heating up again. Bottom of the 5th inning, first and second, nobody out for the Aces. Top of the order due up, and Daniel McGraw is out of the game. New pitcher on the mound for Adelaide.
Yeah, it's Oscar Nakayoshi, left-hander, Brazilian, but Japanese descent. It's his third ABL season, second with the Giants. He was lights out last year. 1.05 ERA in 25.2 innings. Has pitched in the past in Japan with the Hiroshima Carp. And just so you know, Max, the second largest population of Japanese people is in Brazil. So it's not that crazy that you have a Brazilian Japanese pitcher.
In Sao Paulo.
There you go, Sao Paulo.
Well, he's been dominant this year as well. As we give you a look at some of the scoring recap, Darryl George belts this line drive into the gap. This got the Aces on the board 1-0. Robbie Glendinning on the same play was cut down at the plate. Good relay throw from Knight to Carr to Albrecht. And that set things up later in the game for Adelaide to take the lead. There's another look at the George RBI double. He is granted with RBI number 21. And then this 2-run double from Albrecht put the Giants on the board. 2-run knock into the gap in right center field. And then a home run later in the game from Jared Carr. It's got us to where we're at. The Aces looking to get back on the board. Will be tough over 12 2/3 for Nakayoshi. He's allowed just 1 run as he makes an appeal to second. Again, doing that to see if Aaron Whitefield drops down to potentially show bunt.
Yep.
And he didn't. Corners in and for their bags. Middle back here for Adelaide. Belbin at second, Burke at first. Sprayed foul, 0-1. For the Brisbane left-hander, he is not allowed a run since the 1st of December against Perth. That's well over 10 consecutive scoreless innings. McGraw responsible for the 2 runners on now. 0-1 is down and away, 1-1. Aaron Whitefield, one of the best players in the ABL this season. I mean, he's already won 1 Helms Award. Sending out a bid for another. Again, it's pretty close at the top, but hitting .350 entering play today, 5 homers. Tied for the team lead. Grounded through the right side, a base hit. Belbin stopped at third as Knight's up with it quickly. The bases are loaded. Nobody out, and here's the league's leading hitter in Jared Dale. Here we go, Ed.
Here we go indeed. Probably a smart decision there by John Diebel not to test Briley Knight in right field. You want to keep this inning going. No sense risking being thrown out at home on that one.
Well, the tying run's at second with great speed in Burke. The go-ahead run at first. Nobody out. Aces down by 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. If they're going to make the postseason, they must win this game. It's win and in for the Aces. Looking to do some damage here in the 5th. Nakayoshi ready. First one. Grounded through the right side, base hit. Belbin scores. Here comes Burke. Knight's throw up the line. We're tied. Jared Dale answers the call one more time. We're back where we started.
He's been delivering all year, and he does it again, Max.
RBI 17 at 18, and Jared Dale with one swing has brought in this crowd back to life. take another look. Back-to-back base hits through a vacant right side, Ed.
Yeah, look at that. Just couldn't have hit it in a better spot. Knight's throw offline.
Here's Robbie Glendinning now. Go-ahead run 90 feet away with a really good speed, of course, in Aaron Whitefield. Teeth of the lineup now due up for the Aces. First one. Outside, 1-0. Robbie's 1 for 2 today. Singled in the first. By the way, those 2 runs charged to McGraw, so his day is now officially done. Whitefield at third, if he scores, would break that scoreless stretch for Nakayoshi. 1-0. Strike called. Good location at the knees.
Talked about the bats having it wake up in this game and do their part, and they certainly are. Chance for a big inning here, Max.
Wide open right side of the infield again. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Revved up the engine on a fastball, 1-2.
Did indeed.
For Nakayoshi, that 1 run was allowed, we're told, just about 24 hours from getting off the plane in Brazil, similar to Morgan McCullough when he flew from Seattle and then played in 5 games in 4 days. And ever since he's really gotten settled in here in Australia, he's been lights out. Aces have seen it well against him so far. That one's just a little bit inside, 2-2.
You can just feel the tension. There's an underlying tension just starting to build, Max. I can't explain it. It's kind of a feel.
I feel it too. 2-2. Jack swing. Did he go? Appeal to first. He did not. Tom West on the call. Count full. Dale 7-10 in stolen base opportunities. Nobody out though. A lefty on the mound. They probably don't want to push it, but you could stay out of a double play potentially if he gets a head start.
Big pitch coming up right here.
Indeed. 3 balls, 2 strikes, tied in the 5th. Check to first. Dale back in, standing up. Payoff. Lofted to right. Slicing out of play. Still full. Arms left to right in the outfield for Adelaide. Holsizer, Carr, and Knight. This is a very athletic outfield for Adelaide, so it's going to have to be fairly deep, but Whitefield with blazing speed also definitely going to test it. It is even shallow depth, I'm sure. Dale at first, Whitefield at third. 2 runs in on the Dale 2-run single. 3-2, popped up, foul ground, Wingrove. Looking up, and it's out of play again.
Yep.
Good battle here from Glendinning. Continues to go head-to-head here with Nakayoshi.
Yeah, this game just is going to come down to little battles like this, Max, and this is one that's just intriguing. Could go either way, could go any way.
Infield back for Adelaide, so the majority of types of ground balls would probably score a run. Still nobody out. 3-2 is fouled straight back, 3-2. Unless it's a sharp grounder to third or first and Whitefield's going on contact, I think it looks like Adelaide will opt to try and turn 2 instead of cut down the go-ahead run at the plate, which makes sense. Nobody out in the inning. You really don't want to continue to get this one blown away.
Yep.
Tied at 3 here in the 5th. 3-2 again. Lined out to left. This will give the Aces the lead. Holsizer can't make the catch. Whitefield scores. Aces jump in front. 4-3 your score in a must-win game. What an at-bat from Robbie Glendinning, spoiling pitch after pitch after pitch from Nakayoshi, and then top spins a liner in the left. Still nobody out as Josh Tolles comes out to have a conversation.
And that ends that scoreless streak for Nakayoshi.
That is right.
Yeah.
That's just the second earned run he's allowed this season. Here's another look. Let's see. This pitch over the middle of the plate, and Robbie takes care of it. It was no doubt deep enough to score the run. His Holsizer, a really tough series out there and left.
Yeah, I didn't get close enough to look at it, but
it's a trickier play.
It is,
it's
but
sinking.
The outfielding we've seen in the ABL this season, a lot of players make that play. Now, Whitefield probably scores anyway, so it's not. Other than getting it out, it's not a huge deal. But here comes Greg Bird now in a real opportunity.
Pole shift on for Greg. Dale at second. Glendinning at first. Nakayoshi still in this game. Nobody out. The pitch. Sent out to right. Riley Knight jogs over. Makes the catch. Dale fakes the tag. Throw back in a good one. First out of the inning, Bird retires. And here's Darryl George. He's already driven in one today, Ed. Again, we've only seen lefties in this game. Not one right-handed pitcher has taken the mound so far this afternoon, and Darryl George is one of those guys that loves it. Even though the Aces have the lead, they're going to need insurance. This Adelaide team is more than capable of coming back down one.
Yep.
By the way, an update in Brisbane. Canberra now leads 3-1.
Oh.
Again, if the Aces lose this game, the winner of that Canberra-Brisbane game is in. If the Aces win, it doesn't matter. First pitch to Darryl. Taken down low, 1-0. Phil Erden says it perfectly. 5 minutes and 2 games completely flipped. Talking about playoff caliber baseball. Every pitch counts. 1-0. Slashed foul. Count evens up at 1-1.
Crowd a little more energetic now. You can feel the buzz. You can hear it now that the Aces have the lead and still with an opportunity to add a couple more runs.
1-1. 1-2. You know what I see right now in the crowd?
What's
Dovidas Neverauskas Pittsburgh Pirates jersey. I wonder if he's got some family here.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Maybe a Neverauskas fan. Here's a look at that Glendinning knock. Really good piece of hitting. So simple after a really long at-bat. Gives the Aces a 4-3 lead. One-two. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on a changeup. That's the first strikeout for Nakayoshi. Good chance we'll see Dovidas in this game.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Hasn't pitched in this entire series.
No, he hasn't.
Hasn't pitched since last weekend. It's been a long layoff for him.
We saw him warm up yesterday, and as you mentioned, pregame, probably just to get some pitching in, right? Because he hasn't, as you said, it's been a while.
Dale at second, Glendinning at first still. Here's McCullough. Pitch is taken for a strike. 0-1. Oregon 0 for 1 today. Walked in his last plate appearance. Strike 2 called. 0-2. Well, you got to give Nakayoshi some credit. After allowing 3 consecutive hits and 1 earned run, 2 charged to the starter McGraw to begin this inning, he's bounced back well and quickly and has kept this, at least for now, just a 1-run deficit for Adelaide.
Yep.
0-2 instead of moved to second. Dale back in standing up for Adelaide in the top of the 6th. They'll be 7, 8, and 9. Holsizer, Knight, and Albrecht.
They've been good, the bottom of the order.
0-2. Popped up. No man's land in the left. Ward is really getting his steps in. How to play.
Getting a workout, no doubt about it.
Right?
Appreciate the effort, Just hard. Goes hard on every play.
In a game that doesn't necessarily mean everything for Adelaide either.
Yep. He's a ball player, Max.
Sends a good message to his teammates, too.
Absolutely.
Well, both runners will go on contact. Aces would love another run, if not a couple more. Oh, 2. Grounded. Wide of first. Wingrove could have gone a foot race with McCullough. He beats him by a step to end the inning. The Aces, though, sent 8 to the plate, push across 3. They got a 4-3 lead as we head to the top of the 6th. They must win this game to get into the playoffs, and they now lead it. Top of the 6th on its way after this.
There it is. 1,503 people in the ballpark today. Beautiful Sunday afternoon, as Max Tanzer and I have talked about during this broadcast. More than 30,000 fans here at the ballpark during this season. We thank you very much, and as I said, a tribute to the fans, but also all the people here at the front office of the Melbourne Aces. Ed Wyatt, Max Tanzer with you as we enter the top of the 6th inning. Aces have reclaimed the lead here, 4-3 in a must-win game. If they want to make the playoffs, they need to win this game. Dennis Neal's going to continue on the mound, at a pretty decent job in the last inning. A couple of strikeouts, only allowed 1 hit. And he'll face Nico Holsizer, Briley Knight, and Louis Albrecht here, 7, 8, 9 for the Adelaide Giants. First pitch outside and high, ball 1. Holsizer with a walk and a strikeout tonight. That one's grounded foul just over the Adelaide dugout, bounces back onto the field of play, so someone's going to have to get that. Daryl George will play the role of ball boy, run out and grab it down the left field line. Holsizer, Knight, Albrecht, top of the 6th inning. We've said it a million times, Max, the game the Aces must win to get into the playoffs.
Absolutely. Here's the 1-1. Fouled straight back. Look at it.
Almost came over the net. I was ready for it.
1-2. Well, how about this for Dennis Neal? I mean, added to the roster just about 48 hours before first pitch or so. Holsizer goes down to get this one. Fairly deep to left, but Burke hasn't measured one away. And now he's trying to hold the lead in a game that decides if the Aces go to the playoffs or not. I'm not sure if you even knew any of these guys.
That's a really good point.
48 hours ago, 30, whatever it was.
No, you're right.
He's looked good so far, though.
He and DeYoung added. I remember you called me and said, I'll make a couple roster changes. Like, what? And here they are, as you say, crucial situation.
Credit to Mick Wern and the rest of the crew, John Diebel, of course, too, going out and finding these guys, especially after learning that Sean Moramondo was unavailable this weekend due to his new contract in the CPBL. Bradley Knight lines into right.
Tagged that one.
That's his first hit of the day. John Moramondo's still here, rooting on his teammates in that dugout.
Sure, we couldn't get him to throw one inning. How would they know?
Yeah, you call up the Guardians, maybe ask. Don't do it for the Aces, do it for the broadcasters. Here's Louis Albrecht. He's had himself a day. He's driven in 2, a double and a single. Swing and a miss, well out in front, 0-1. Well, if John Diebel, Peter Moyle, and Graham Lloyd and the rest of the crew could have asked for one thing in that first base dugout, it would be give us the lead after the halfway point.
Yep.
Give the bullpen a chance to close this one out, and here they are. 0-1. Breaking ball misses, 1-1. Davidas Neverauskas in the bullpen down the right field side. Jonathan Tripp is still in there. I mean, hey, who knows if he's available? That would be a story after starting the game on Thursday. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Good stuff from Neal here.
You could see him watching intently all the way behind that right field corner, too, with his bright red undershirt. He's got 2 bright red sleeves, and he's right in the front row.
Yep.
He's ready to go. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Well out in front. 3 strikeouts for Dennis Neal. He has been nails today. 2 away for Nick Ward.
Nails Neal.
There we go.
Maybe you've created a nickname, Max.
I love it. Maybe he's already have it.
I'm
Maybe
sure
already has
he's got something. Yeah,
Here's another look.
He's been great.
Caught him well out in front. Nick Ward's 0 for 2, walked in the first inning, was stranded. Oh, they got him picked off. Knight in a rundown here as Bird runs him to Dale. This could be a huge out, number 3. Neal applies the tag, inning over. What a move from the southpaw. That ends the inning. Dennis Neal, 2 shutout innings. He faces the minimum here in the 6th. We head to the bottom half of the frame. Aces lead 4-3.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Australian Sports Technologies Network provides leadership in the development of local sports technologies. ASTN helps sports tech companies scale and commercialize into international markets. Since 2012, ASTN has been an industry-led Australian ecosystem of top tech firms, national sporting organizations, research institutions, distributors, and investors. Headed to the bottom of the 6th inning, Ed White, Max Tanzer. And there is Jonathan Tripp throwing a football.
I'll tell you one thing. It might just look like a fun game of catch, but before every start, when he goes to warm up down the right field line, he plays long toss with the pigskin. So who knows? Maybe he's getting ready to come into this game. Now the Aces have the lead, ready to potentially close this one out.
I'll tell you what, Max, the Detroit Lions could use him because they are losing to the Washington Commanders 45-31
Oh, boy.
in the 4th quarter, and that is a huge upset.
Yeah, that's right. It's Sunday here. It's Saturday over in the States, but
That is
football
a
nonetheless.
huge upset.
Want to know the count to Mitch Edwards. Nakayoshi out for his first full inning. I guess threw a full inning the last time as McGraw didn't record an out. There's a base hit for Mitch Edwards. Sears it through the 6 hole. Aces have now had a leadoff hit or a leadoff base runner in 4 consecutive innings. Here's Jared Belbin. Picked up a big walk to open up that 5th inning where the Aces pushed across 3. Oh my goodness, what a day. Canberra still leads over Brisbane 4-1, so if the Aces can't win this one, Canberra now currently would be the team to sneak into that final spot.
Crazy.
If I'm correct here, Perth having a lead in Sydney means that they would essentially lock themselves into the 3 seed. And if that holds, really the last spot would be the 4 seed, who would play Sydney.
Yes.
It's looking like, at this point, again, so much can change. We talked about it earlier. It flipped on its head in 5 minutes, just about 30 minutes ago. But at this point, it looks like Adelaide-Perth matchup in Adelaide and a Sydney and potentially Melbourne, potentially Canberra for the first round of the ABL finals. 0-1. Strike called, 0-2. Chris Burke on deck. Then it'll be the top of the lineup again for Melbourne. Swing and a foul tipped, held on by Albrecht. And Belbin down on strikes. Second punch out for Nakayoshi.
Here comes Berkey, 2 for 2 today. He's seeing it again. I think he heard you in the pregame or the intro where you said he'd been a little cooler of late or something like that. He took that personally.
Oh, he did. Doing his best MJ impression, right? He's 2 for 2 today. Aaron Whitefield on deck. Pull shift on for him. Third baseman Ward way off the bag if Burke wanted to drop one down. Instead takes outside 1-0.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's not a bad thought. On the other hand, Berkey's got a couple of hits today, so.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Albrecht's throw. Oh my goodness, what a beauty. And Edwards had no chance. 2 away. I mean, that was as perfect placement as it gets.
Yeah.
Right at the ankle height of Spence, the shortstop, covering. And Edwards, who doesn't particularly run well, I think a hit and run was in play right there. Good pitch to throw right there in that spot. It was in the dirt, and Burke obviously did as best as he could to hit it. Here's another look.
Yeah, look at that throw.
Like 2 centimeters off the ground right there. Well, 2 away now for Burke. Swings and misses for strike 2, 1-2. Tripp's got the glove on now, by the way. Not throwing a baseball yet.
Right.
For those curious, he threw 88 pitches 3 nights ago, Thursday in the series opener. 1-2. Grounded sharply, but Spence, the shortstop, has it played well. The throw just in time to get Burke. That'll retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. As we enter the top of the 7th, back third of this ball game coming up. Aces lead it 4-3.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Well, there he is, Jonathan Tripp. He started 10 games this year, and he is heating up in the Aces bullpen, getting ready to go. Potentially in this inning, here as we begin the top of the 7th, maybe he gets the 8th. He threw 88 pitches on Thursday against the Giants in his start, and we'll see how much he can give the Aces today, but this is what this day is about, as you get a look at the Aces coaching staff.
Maybe talking about that.
All hands on deck, as there's a look at Dennis Neal. He's tossed 2 scoreless innings, looking to give the Aces a little bit more as Nick Ward leads things off.
Yeah, Ward, of course, was at bat when last inning when he was caught stealing.
That's right. Picked off Knight to end the frame.
Yeah.
First pitch from Neal. Swing and a miss. That curveball is so effective. 0-1. I think there's almost an advantage to it. It's so slow that it's so hard for these Adelaide hitters to sit back on. And he gives them the fastball, and it speeds you up, and you're too late at that point. Breaking ball again. A beauty, clips the outer edge, 0-2.
Just quietly, how good has he been? How important has this stint been?
It's just an incredible story for the Aces. 0-2. Breaking ball down and away.
And now he's got to stay focused, obviously, because we talked about how dangerous this Adelaide lineup is, and he could turn in a second. But so far, he's done really well.
Yeah, it's just a 1-run lead. By the way, Sydney currently trailing now by 2 runs. Bottom 8, they have the bases loaded against Perth. 2-2 now the count. Again, Perth's already clinched with the Canberra loss earlier today, so now they're just playing for seeding, essentially. Theoretically, from what we're hearing, if the Aces were to win and Sydney were to win, the Aces go to Adelaide next week, would have the 3 seed. If Perth wins and the Aces win, the Aces would be the 4 seed and would go to Sydney.
Right.
Aces just trying to get in. 2-2 is popped up on the infield. Daryl George makes way to Jared Dale. A little shadow man behind him, and George one away. Ward retired. Here's Liam Spence.
8 outs to go.
Still only a 1-run lead, though. I mean, it is tight here at Melbourne Ballpark.
It is.
Strike called 0-1. The reason, by the way, why the Aces in that circumstance would be the 3 seed is because that would mark them tied with Perth, and they have the head-to-head tiebreaker.
Yes.
0-1.
No, that's out.
Take in outside. Count evens up at 1-1. Ward is 0 for 3 today. One. Down and in, just missed. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, a hot and muggy one here at the ballpark. It was just south at 30 degrees at first pitch.
It is a little muggy, you're right.
A little bit of cloud coverage as well. 2-1. Strike called, count evens up.
Spence didn't love that call. But as we say, doesn't matter. Nothing he can do about it.
Good half the battle here. Jared Carr on deck. 2-2. Grounded sharply and through a base hit. Tying run aboard for Adelaide. Liam Spence picks up his first knock of the afternoon. Here comes the meat of the Adelaide lineup. Jared Carr now to the dish.
And Tripp is throwing hard out there, Max.
I'd imagine ideally the Aces would like Neal to face as much of that 3-lane lefty stretch in the middle of the Adelaide lineup. Carr, Wingrove, and McArdle. Of course, it starts now. But if you need to get Tripp into this game, you got to get him into this game. Of course, Tripp, a starter, has the repertoire to face any hand. Breaking ball misses inside 1-0. The other thing you have to consider, too, is potentially if Neal might be running out of steam here. Let's give it the Aces everything he's got tonight.
That's right.
Spence the tying run at first. The 1-0. Upstairs 2-0. for Neal now 2 1/3 of innings work, and he's thrown over 35 pitches. Here's Mitch Edwards to the mound. One probably slow things down and maybe give Tripp some time to continue to warm up. Remember, Tripp is a starter. He doesn't relieve. And so his warm-up process is much longer than a traditional reliever who's more used to getting up quickly and getting hot quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's fairly ready to go now. He's been up this entire inning and the break between half innings, but again, it is a much longer process for him. 2-0. Breaking ball. Inside 3-0, and Neal's going to have to find the zone here. Carr has really good speed, so you don't want to let him on representing the go-ahead run. (3-0). Taking all the way, and it's upstairs for ball 4. I don't even think Carr knew it was ball 4.
He thought it was a strike.
Or maybe thought it was ball 3. I don't know. Either way, first and second, 1 out, and the tying run in scoring position. And here is Rickson at Wingrove.
That's the first walk of the night or day for Neal.
Well, this is the highest leverage lane in the Adelaide lineup. Wingrove, 0 for 2, walked in the third. 4 homers, 17 runs batted in. Spence at second, Carr at first. Wingrove at the plate, McArdle on deck. First pitch from Neal. Breaking ball. Oh, how did that not hit him? Saying he should have reached his arm out right there. That was behind him, 1-0. And we're really starting to see signs of fatigue.
Yeah, I agree.
Here for Neal.
And what, like you said, he's given it everything.
Absolutely. And you got to tip your cap
to
him no matter what has happened. (1-0). Down low, 2-0. Here's another look at that bender. That was the one behind him. I'll tell you what, there's some small bones in your hand. I don't think that would be good if you tried to get hit in the hand there. 2-0 is down and away. Ball 3, 3-0. Walks have been a struggle for the Aces tonight. Majority early on in the game, but they've walked 6 as a pitching staff. This very well could be Neal's last batter here, no matter what happens. 3-0. Taking all the way, a strike, 3-1.
You know, when Wingrove takes a pitch, he takes a pitch. He wants to have a cup of coffee up there while he's letting it come through. Very funny.
Hitters count. 3-1. Strike called. Good spot. 3-2.
Oh.
Neal's climbed all the way back.
Wow.
Well, lefty on left, he's got that fastball that has a tick of arm side run, which could potentially induce a soft ground ball off the bat of Wingrove, and that would be ideal here in a potential double play spot.
For the 5th time tonight, huge pitch.
Payoff coming. Strike 3 called, throws him on the inside corner, 2 away.
Wow. Wow.
Dennis Neal from the depths steps up in his biggest spot of his Aces career so far.
That was huge.
2 away.
Oh, my word.
That's his 4th strikeout. Was behind 3-0 and climbed all the way back. And John Diebel signaling the Aces to shade McArdle more even. They have been shifting him in this series, but after seeing him send the ball the other way, the infield now a little bit more straight up. And Neal going to stay in this game for the lefty with Tripp standing and watching, ready to go in the pen. Strike called 0-1. You have a right-hander. In fact, a few right-handers due up. So I think Diebel ideally would love Neal to retire McArdle here and have Tripp start the 8th. Well, you got to retire McArdle here. 0-1. Breaking ball just misses inside. Count evens up. Aces have weaved out of trouble multiple times today, looking to pull off some magic one more time, at the least. 1-1. Strike called, throws him with a heater, 1-2.
Great pitch.
All of a sudden, he's found his groove again.
Great pitch.
Spence the tying run at second. Carr with blazing speed, the go-ahead run at first. A must-win game for the Aces. With a win, they clinch. 1-2. Down low with a breaking ball. A little bit of a Soto-esque shuffle right there from McCardle on a really good take, counting it up. Tripp starting to throw again. Runners take their leads. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Dennis Neal fired up as he should be. Strands the tying run at second and the go-ahead run at first. We're through 6.5 here at a must-win game for the Aces as Dennis Neal gets out of trouble. 4-3 Melbourne. We'll be back.
Omnigraphics, your leaders in super wide format printing across Australia. With 2 full-scale production facilities in Queensland and Victoria, our centres are equipped to handle the most ambitious printing projects, backed by a dedicated team of over 70 full-time staff. We specialise in a wide range of print formats, from billboards and banners to retail and events. We deliver impactful solutions that stand out in any environment. Our commitment to excellence includes continuous investment in cutting-edge technology, ensuring precision, speed, and reliability. This allows us to tackle even the most complex printing requirements with ease. Dream, design, deliver. Partner with Omnigraphics for your next printing project.
Well, Dennis Neal picked up the biggest strikeout maybe of his entire year. Look at this.
Incredible.
Frozen with a heater after a slate of fastballs. So that was actually the breaking ball, and it just buckled him. What a big spot. He finishes his day with 5 strikeouts through 3 shutout innings to pass the torch to what seems to be Jonathan Tripp now. We'll see who comes in for the 8th, but Tripp was warming up that entire inning, and plenty of right-handers due up. The Aces, though, task number 1 here, insurance. They're going to send up 1, 2, and 3 of their order, Whitefield, Dale, and Glendinning. Max Tanzer here, joined alongside Ed Neal. Thank you so much, Ed Wyatt.
He did it again.
Second time this weekend.
He did it again.
It's Dennis Neal. I don't know what it is. But it's been a good one today. The Aces stormed back for 3 in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they are now at 6 outs away from clinching a postseason spot for the 2nd consecutive season.
Yeah, not enough superlatives to talk about what Dennis Neal has done for this team, as we do see Blake Townsend now in on the mound for the Adelaide Giants.
Already have seen him once in this series. Here's Whitefield to lead it off. Every pitcher in this game tonight on both sides has been left-handed, as the first one misses outside. Third pitcher used by Adelaide. Melbourne's used 3 as well, so 6 arms, all southpaws. When do you see that?
Yeah, it's very rare.
Of course, Tripp, a right-hander, was warming up. Well, look at this. We have other action to the bullpen now for the Aces as well. A right-hander for them starting to warm up.
I think, is that Hayden Peoples?
I think it is Hayden
Yeah,
Peoples.
it is.
Oh, what a story that would be.
He's up.
Development player, 2-0. Down and in 3-0. Again, maybe potentially getting him warmed up in case a big inning for the Aces.
Yeah.
It would be quite a move if they brought him in, 21 years old. But you never know. He has good stuff, as that one's taken outside, ball 4. Whitefield with a leadoff walk. Good speed on the bases for the Aces here to open up the 7th. Here's Jared Dale, clutched up with a game-tying 2-run single his last time up in the 5th. Looking to bookend his best season yet as an ace, and he rockets one foul, 0-1. Watch out. Loud sound on that one.
Oh, you hit that, what do we call that out there? The shed?
The new shed.
The new
yes.
shed.
That'll be a pivotal part of the Hanwha Eagles
Gonna say, I'll
spring
be
training experience.
full of Eagles in another couple of weeks.
International baseball. Oh, this one's wild, and Whitefield's going to take off.
He'll go to third.
Wingrove was looking down while Townsend made a pickoff attempt to first, and that is a break. Great speed 90 feet away, representing some insurance. We'll have to get another look. I don't think Wingrove was looking at Townsend. We'll see. As now here comes Josh Tolles, pitching coach, to the mound.
I'm not sure that pitch.
Or this is Chris Adamson, excuse me.
That pitch
manager.
seemed to go miles over. I'll have a look at it.
Definitely will. Again, I think it caught everybody off guard. Don't see Wingrove here. Maybe he lost it again, or just gave up on it. It was such a high throw.
I think he had no chance at it. Might enter that in the worst pickoff attempt competition. Here's a better shot. Look at that. Look.
Yeah, he sees it. So Wingrove does see it.
There's nothing he can do about it.
It's a better angle. Not only was it high, but it was well wide. So a walk.
That's nuts.
And an error.
Wow.
Gets Whitefield to third. Healthy fly ball does the trick. Adelaide draws their infield in here, trying to cut down this run at the plate. Aces need as many runs as they can get. 0-1. Fouled straight back. 0-2.
Just a baffling throw over there, Max. I'm just trying to get my head around it.
Tried the quick snap throw, I think.
Just happens, I guess, sometimes, but that was so far off the line.
By the way, Perth holding on to a 4-3 lead over Sydney. 1 out in the bottom of the ninth. Perth 2 outs away from locking up the 3 seed. As Dale ropes this one in the left. No question about it. Whitefield walks home to score, and the Aces get an important run of insurance. It's 5-3 as Dale's driven in 3 today.
That is a huge run.
That was a bullet. RBI number 19 for Jared.
Just a huge run in the scheme of things, considering Whitefield probably would have just been on second if you hadn't had that errant throw from Townsend.
So here is Glendenning. Singled in the go-ahead run back in the 5th. Takes the strike, 0-1. So 2 right-handers up. That's Tripp and Peoples now, continuing to throw. Oh, 1. Upstairs, count evens up. Other update, Canberra leads 5-1 in Brisbane. For either of those two to qualify, the Aces would need to lose today. Glendenning caps this one. It's down for another base hit. He's got 3 today. What a positive note to end his regular season. First and second, no one out, and the Aces could really blow this one open here. Here's Greg Bird looking for his first hit of the day.
Action in the Adelaide bullpen, as you'd imagine. Townsend looking like about to get roughed up here. Hasn't helped his own cause either with that throw over to first that allowed Whitefield to make it to third and then score on the Dale hit. And now you got Greg Bird up.
Was hit by a pitch in his second plate appearance. Strike called 0-1. You'd think that if you told Greg, hey, you're going to see 3 different left-handers through the first 4 plate appearances in this game, he wouldn't ideally like it, but he's hitting 275 against the Southpaw this year. He's held his own, of course. As professional of a hitter as it gets. Now that one back. Look out.
Oh, broke a light.
Oh, man, that is scary.
That broke a light.
Well, everyone's clapping, so that means everything's okay, but you're going to have to be careful. There are shards on the ground.
Great job by the Aces staff there, getting people out of the way.
So 0-2 the count. Play resumes. Runners go. Great jump. The pitch is sent in the air. Center field. Everyone's going to have to retreat. Carr's there to make the catch. 1 away. Gosh, have you ever seen that happen before?
I have not seen that happen.
There we go. We've got a broom. Get that swiped out of the way. Well, here's Daryl George. By the way, Daryl, let's get another look at this foul ball before Daryl gets to the plate.
Can't see it. It's out of your picture, but there are the lights that sort of shine on the stands. It's shattered. I think people are all right. Aces general manager Justin Huber out checking with people. I wonder if it went down into the area in front too, Max.
It may have. Those look like everyone's okay.
Yeah.
Good thing it's not a night game tonight. Here's George. Takes a strike all the way, 0-1. Darryl with his double in the first inning tied Logan Wade for the second most hits in modern ABL history.
There we go.
One away from standing alone, only behind Tim Kennelly, of course, Mr. ABL of Perth. 0-1. Sent out to right. 0-2. That's a total out of 372 hits for Darryl in his Aces career. The all-time Aces home run leader, all-time in games played, all-time in hits, and now he's starting to check all the ABL boxes. I mean, leads basically almost every offensive category in Aces history you could think of. Him and Brad Harmon, a couple others. Dale at second, Glendinning at first. 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, there have been some good hitters passing through here. Brad Harmon, Luke Hughes, Delman Young, Elliot Biddle is a name from way back. He's in the record books.
Whitefield passed him for the longest hit streak in team history earlier. Check swing. No appeal yet. He's 2-2. Greg Bird, I mean.
Yeah.
That one jumps out quickly. Aaron Whitefield. I mean, even just the Team Australia representation on both sides of the ball for both of these teams. I mean,
yep.
You feel like you're watching a Team Australia game here with this matchup right now. 2-2. This one sent out to left, not hit well. Holsizer puts it in his pocket, 2 away.
Holsizer happy he didn't have to move to make that play.
We have a final in Sydney, by the way. Perth with a 4-3 win. They secured the 3rd seed. So they will
go to Adelaide.
For that round. So all the Giants fans tuning in, you will be facing the Perth Heat. Meanwhile, if the Aces win this one, they would be playing to face number 1 seeded Sydney. And talk about a storyline going into that one if the Aces can hold on with all the fireworks last weekend. 2 away. Dale at second, Glendinning at first. Here's Morgan McCullough. Townsend looking to limit the damage to 1. Slashed foul out of play. 0-1.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that Sydney series. You're right. There'll be some spite, some energy around that one.
Right? Emotionally, I'm sure it'll feel just as big as a Claxton Shield final.
Oh, yeah.
Both runners will go on contact here. Again, Aces and Sydney faced last weekend, played 5 games. Aces took 3 of 5. 0-1. Inside, 1-1. Of course, Sydney lights out at home. And that's where that game will be played. So it's a tough task to go into that building with those deep dimensions against that pitching staff, of course. Sydney this year, 15-5. I mean, they have been unbelievable. 1-1. Inside, look out. A lot of close pitches inside to lefties today. Saw Bird get hit. We saw Belbin take a close one. And Burke a couple, and now McCullough. Again, no intent, but
no.
A couple have gotten away. Two-1. Swing and a miss. Sweeping breaking ball. Count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, the way this started, Townsend would be pretty happy to get out of this just with giving up that 1 run.
Indeed. Runners take their leads. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on a breaking ball, and that will retire the side. However, the Aces tack on another run thanks to the Whitefield walk, which led to an E1 pickoff attempt that got him to third, and then Dale's RBI single. We get to the top of the 8th. Who's going to be on the mound for the Aces? We'll see. 5-3 Melbourne.
OmniGraphics, your leaders in super wide format printing across Australia. With 2 full-scale production facilities in Queensland and Victoria, our centres are equipped to handle the most ambitious printing projects, backed by a dedicated team of over 70 full-time staff. We specialise in a wide range of print formats, from billboards and banners to retail and events. We deliver impactful solutions that stand out in any environment. Our commitment to excellence includes continuous investment in cutting-edge technology, ensuring precision, speed and reliability. This allows us to tackle even the most complex printing requirements with ease. Dream, design, deliver. Partner with OmniGraphics for your next printing project.
Well, when we asked John Diebel about Jonathan Tripp a couple days ago, he described him as a gamer and that he wants to be in there. Well, here he is today on just 2 days of rest after throwing 88 pitches, starting his 10th game of the season on Thursday night. Into the 8th inning, Aces hold a 2-run lead. With the win tonight, they will clinch a playoff spot, and Tripp doing everything he can to help his guys get there.
Pretty extraordinary, I'll be honest with you, Max. We did say, obviously, the Aces pitching staff a bit depleted. Moramando not available to go. Some injuries. Some guys have already pitched. So remarkable that Jonathan Tripp is going to come out here and do this.
It's a telltale sign that playoff baseball is on the horizon.
Yes, it is.
Get a look at
Agreed.
Moramando looking off. Him and Tripp still are very close. They can go over approach, mechanics, sequences, the game together, and they've done so all season long. So Tripp will get Gonzalez, Holsizer, and Knight, 6, 7, and 8 here in the Adelaide lineup. First one, taken for a strike, 0-1.
Bang, outside corner.
Tripp's mother and father here from Texas to watch him pitch, and they've been here the last couple weeks, and this is the biggest appearance yet. 0-1. Outside, count evens up.
A little bonus pitching.
That's right. As you can see on his glove, he's got the Texas state flag as a patch. 1-1. Down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike.
2 on.
There it is. There's the glove. It's on the other side. 2-1. Outside, 3-1.
3-1. Hey, give it.
Gonzalez 0 for 2 today. Hit that homer and drove in 4 yesterday. Last time Tripp made a relief appearance, he made 1 with Cleburne this year. He made 1 in 2023 too. 3-1 is line to center. Whitefield racing over, has time, makes the catch, 1 away. Some hard contact, but the Aces will take it.
Piece of cake for Whitey out there in center field. Was hit hard.
Tripp was a reliever back in his early days in the American Association, talking about the 2022-23 season. Made 9 starts between Florence and Chicago, but also just over 20 relief appearances. First pitch to Holsizer, swing and a miss. Good fastball upstairs, 0-1. He's bringing it. What is nice about pitching out of the bullpen versus starting is you can kind of let loose a little bit. You don't have to conserve as much energy.
True.
You're not trying to get 5 or 6 innings. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Wouldn't be surprised if the velocity's ticked up a little bit for Tripp.
Yeah, it's a really good point, Max.
As well
Absolutely.
as adrenaline, I'm sure, too. Riley Knight on deck. Tripp ready. 0-2. Buzzed him inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1-2.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Foul tip held on by Edwards. It trips, looking good out of the pen. 2 up, 2 down.
That is the 10th Aces strikeout. And that means big shout out to Superior Heating and Cooling.
You mentioned Randy Johnson, by the way, earlier with the starter coming in and out of the bullpen. Of course, Randy Johnson did that in Game 5 of the 1995 Division Series, Mariners versus Yankees. Well, Tripp kind of sports the Randy Johnson look.
True.
The long hair out of the back of his hat, got the mustache, the handlebar, instead of more of a goatee. 0-1's upstairs. Count even's up at 1-1. And here he is playing that exact same role here for the Melbourne Aces. Final game of the season. The Aces into the playoffs with a win today. If not, they're eliminated. Rolled to first. Bird has time, scoops it, gets to the bag, inning over. Jonathan Tripp making it look easy. Comes in out of the pen after a start on Thursday. Sets down the side. 1, 2, 3. We get to the bottom of the 8th. Aces lead 5-3.
Just 2?
Back here at Melbourne Ballpark, Aces lead 5-3, looking for some insurance before trying to close things out in the 9th. Let's take a look at our Aces Sporting Club play of the game. Robbie Glendinning giving Melbourne a 4-3 lead in the 5th. That was a 3-run frame. Some topspin on Holsizer and left brings around Whitefield to score. That was a 4-3 lead for Melbourne at the time. They now lead 5-3. Again, your play of the game brought to you by Aces Sporting Club, a premium golf practice facility based in Altona, right here out of Melbourne. They host birthdays, engagements, key milestones, and more. For more info, visit acessportingclub.com.au. New pitcher on the mound for Adelaide, Ed.
You do. Jason Lott, 29-year-old, had some issues a couple of years ago, but battled back, was important for the Giants last year. 1.86 ERA. Product of South Alabama and Delta State. A couple of schools in the south of the United States. Jason Lott.
Look at Mitch Edwards, who will lead things off, this time from the left side after 6 left-handers to start this game, a couple righties. There's Dovidas Neverauskas getting ready. May close out this game in the 9th inning. Again, the Aces in the 9th will be 3 outs away from a playoff clinch here in the final day of the season.
What a season.
First pitch to Edwards. He shows bunt and pulls back for ball 1.
Just a crazy season.
The twists and turns today.
Up and down.
Again, it's a 4-3 final in Sydney. Perth with the win to secure the 3 seed. They will go to Adelaide to take on these Giants, who will host is Albrecht. A little banged up on the foul tip. Edwards, the catcher himself. Sure, it's been there before. 1-1 the count. Let's give you an update on the Canberra-Brisbane game. Again, that one's still important as of now. Canberra leads 8-1 over the Bandits in the top of the 6th inning. So if Adelaide can come back in the 9th and find a way to win this one, it would be Canberra traveling to Sydney. If the Aces can record the final 3 outs, they will go to Sydney. 1-1 the count to Edwards. Two and 1. So with the Aces and a shortened staff, I mean, look at this pitching path to get a lead into the 8th. Chase Jesse starts, goes an inning, does allow 2 runs on the 4 walks. Out straight back, 2-2. Kent goes 3 innings, 1 run. He was really quietly really good. Dennis Neal, 3 innings of shutout baseball, got out of a huge jam in his last inning. That was in the 7th. Strikes out 5.
I'm giving him the MVP if we win this thing.
Me?
He was so good.
And then Jonathan Tripp tosses a quick 1-2-3 inning in the 8th. Took him just 12 pitches. Served up the middle, off the glove of Spence, and threw for a base hit. That's Edwards' second hit of the day. Leads off the 8th, just as he led off the 6th with a single.
There we go.
Makes way to Jared Belbin now. Strike called him Belbin, 0-1. Belbin drew an oh-so-important walk to lead off the 5th. That jump-started an 8-hitter inning where the Aces pushed across 3 and grabbed the lead. A 1. Popped up, third base side. Ward looking for room near the dugout. Has room, makes the catch for the first out.
Finally gets his reward for all those foul balls he chased.
Right? He's been working hard over there at third base today. We'll do it for Adelaide in the 9th. It won't be easy. 9-1-2. Albrecht, Ward, and Spence. So I'm sure the Aces will do everything they can to avoid 3, 4, and 5. Carr, Wingrove, and McArdle.
Yep.
Here's Chris Burke. First one. Swing and a miss. Out in front, 0-1. Chris has had a good day, 2 for 3.
He has, yeah.
Crowd of 1,503 looking to see the Aces punch their ticket today. 0-1. Swing and a foul tip, 0-2. Lott leads it for the sign. He's set. 0-2. Sent out to right and deep. Knight spectating. See you later. A career high. Matches it with 4 homers. Chris Burke sends the Aces to a 7-3 lead, and they are on the precipice of a playoff spot.
What a shot from Berkey, brought to you by Crew Fitness. That one was gone from the crack of the bat. Look at the scenes in the dugout.
That's got to feel good. There's Evan Rutsky in on the high 5. And the Aces now lead by 4. No longer a save situation as they enter the 9th. Give Berkey RBIs 14 and 15. That was similar to one of the ones we saw at Perth where he sort of one-handed it. Down and away, 1-0.
I thought it was headed that way, and then when I saw Knight just basically give up on it, I knew it was gone. I stepped aside and let your dulcet tones bring it home, Max.
1-0 is tapped softly to short. Spence is going to have to hurry the throw in time.
Oh, nice play.
Really good play by the Adelaide shortstop. 2 away. Well, that feels good. We'll see if it's never asked us to come back out or Tripp. With a big lead, I mean, I don't know if there's any reason to push Tripp, especially assuming if the Aces hold on, Tripp would be your game 1 starter.
I would think so, yeah.
Here's the Burke homer. Look at that, on his front knee. First pitch to Burke, and excuse me, swing, and he's going to find the turf. That's Jared Dale's second hit of the day. Continues to keep it grooving. 2 away for Robbie Glendinning.
Dale having himself a day. That batting average is going to go up again. Got a walk and 3 hits. 3 for 4.
He goes. The pitch outside, looking for stolen base number 8, and he gets it. It skips into center, but hold there.
There we go.
I mean, he has just done a little bit of everything this season. For those curious, again, Dale and Whitefield, the two top qualified hitters in the ABL for the batting title this year.
Yep.
And Dale hitting at a 381 mark, Whitefield 348. So Jared looks to win the batting title now, poised to at least. There's a strike, 1-1. Last Aces player to win a batting title was Delman Young.
There's a bit more outside, but not bottom corner.
That was back in 2020-21. Dale would be the fourth player also to reach that feat. Or, excuse me, fifth. 1-1. Top spin to short. Spence on a hop. Gathers and throws. Inning over, but the Aces get a couple of crucial runs on the 2-run shot from Chris Burke. Well, here we go. Buckle up. The Aces 3 outs away from a postseason spot when we come back. Here comes Dovydas Neverauskas to close the door when we return. There's a shot of Chris Burke taking the trot around the bases. His 2-run homer pushed the Aces to a 7-3 lead here in the 9th. They are 3 outs away from clinching a postseason spot and a date with the Sydney Blue Sox heading into the ABL Finals next weekend. Max Tanzer here, joined alongside Ed Wyatt. And Ed, we have seen a good one. We entered the morning, we woke up, we knew there was going to be a lot on the line. The Aces needed a lot of help. They got it early from Brisbane with their win over Canberra, and then they entered this game with an opportunity to control their own destiny.
Yeah, and they've been doing that. Just a remarkable. We said the bats had to do it, but you know what? The pitching, Dennis Neal came in, Jonathan Tripp came in, did an amazing job, those two guys.
There's Burke getting that big hug from Aaron Whitefield. His 4th homer of the year, matches a career high. Celebrating with that entire dugout. There's Evan Rutsky ready for the high five. The Aces can feel it, just 3 outs away. Louis Albrecht to lead things off. First pitch. Swing and a foul tip, 0-1. The Aces, of course, made it to the postseason last year. Lost in 3 games to Adelaide at Adelaide. All of those were 1-run contests. Looking for another shot at what would be their 3rd Claxton Shield win. 0-1. Grounded sharply to second. McCullough circles around it. Throws over, 1 away. 2 steps closer. You then go and look back at last weekend, round 9 in Sydney. Aces took 3 of 5, but it was narrative after narrative, twisted turn after twisted turn. And so get your popcorn ready if the Aces do get the final 2 outs here, and get ready to face those Sydney Blue Sox in Sydney, where the Blue Sox have dominated. First one to Ward, taken down and in, 1-0.
It has been an up and down, unpredictable Aces season. Come in, win a couple, then drop the next 3, those sorts of things. But they never quit. They knew what they had to do today, and they're in position to do it.
Entered the series, and the thought was, what do the Aces have to do in these next 4 games to secure a spot? And 2-2, I think if you told a lot of people, that'd be a little bit scary, as there's a strike, 2-1. But assuming they hold on here, it's done the job. And really, Ed, we've seen it in baseball, particularly baseball compared to other sports. All you need is a shot.
Yep.
And then it's just about who gets hot, where do the breaks fall, and you can find yourself with a ring. 2-2 now the count.
Yeah, I would say baseball and ice hockey would be the other one, where you get a hot goalie in a series and they ride him for like 3 series all the way to the Stanley Cup. We've seen that a lot in hockey, but you're right. You don't see it that often, just where you just get that chance, and baseball is one of those sports.
2-2. Grounded up the middle. Dale over, lays out, but he's not going to have a chance. What an effort by the Aces shortstop. An infield single for Nick Ward.
What a play that was, because it bounced high off the mound.
I think that gave him a better shot
It
at
did.
stopping it. It slowed it down.
It did, yeah.
I know you're frustrated. I get it. You had a 50-50 pitch go again.
It's an acrobatic. It's got a nice logo there if Dale ever wants to do a clothing brand. Watch this. Woo!
Yeah, there's only one other guy in the league that
Yeah,
does
it's
that.
nice
He gets
play,
no
and then
credit.
Wisely doesn't throw over.
Good effort. Well, here's Liam Spence. Out and away, 1-0.
Well, I'd rather you yell at me than Rick.
Adelaide 22-17. The Aces 18-21. Number 19 gets them into the playoffs. One-0. Strike called 1-1. Nebraska's a 4.3 ERA this year. Of course, the former big leaguer, 3 seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates at the big league level. Good guy to have at the mound right here, trying to secure the final couple of outs.
That hit means Jared Carr could potentially come up.
1-1. Upstairs, 2-1.
He's on deck.
And really, if you're Adelaide, just trying to keep the line moving to Carr, Wingrove, and McArdle.
Yep.
Again, they could load the bases and bring the tying run to the plate. Got to take care of business now. Just a little bit low, maybe outside. Hitters count now at 3-1. Nebraska's the 5th pitcher of the day for the Aces. And here comes Mitch Edwards to the mound to have a conversation with his right-hander.
I get it, but be angry at me then. I'll cop it.
I was. That's what I'm saying. That's when I wasn't.
But I mean, like the next inning, you know, when I bowled the pitch and then you yelled out.
Yeah, because it was the same spot.
Yeah, I know, but just let that one go. You know what I mean?
Down and away, ball 4. It's the 7th walk allowed by Aces pitching. First from Nebraska's. First and second with 1 away for Jared Carr.
Well, if we know one thing from watching so many Aces games this year, Max, we know that the Aces are never going to make it easy. It's always going to be a tough ask.
Well, it's pretty fitting. I mean, the Aces woke up this morning, like what? Blindfolded, walking through a forest of ambiguity with all of the different twists and turns and scenarios. And here they are, just trying to hold on as Carr fouls the first one straight back. Still in good shape here. Again,
Yep.
1 out, up by 4.
Thank you.
But you just don't want to give this Adelaide team a chance. Don't give them a little window of opportunity.
A 1. Rolled foul, 0-2. Carr's really quick, so he'll be tough to double up, but if he hits a sharp grounder right at one of the Aces infielders, there is a chance to turn 2.
Yeah, you okay? Yep. 2 strikes.
The Aces have seen the Blue Sox clinch on their home turf. They've seen the Giants clinch on their home turf. They're looking to join the party here at home as well. 0-2. Just misses upstairs,
Wow.
1-2. Fans of the ballpark wanted that one.
You could hear the crowd.
They never said it was going to be easy.
A lot of courage for Carr to look at that one.
He's already homered today, extended his hit streak to 17 games. 1-2 is looped over George and down to the left for a base hit. Ward getting the wave. He'll come around to score. Into second with an RBI double goes Carr. 7-4 ball game. And now the tying run comes to the plate in Rickson Wingrove. Well, if you're a Canberra or a fan of Canberra watching on with their big lead over Brisbane, you've got a little hope. Again, if Adelaide can come back and Canberra holds on to their lead, they're in instead. Meanwhile, the Aces still just 2 outs away from taking care of business on their own hands.
We know Wingrove's dangerous, but he has struggled today. 0 for 3 with a walk, 2 strikeouts. But you can do anything at any time. You know that.
Grounded and through a base hit, and we're going to have a 1-run game. 2 runs come around to score. Spence and Carr. It's 7-6, and here we go. Buckle up.
Oh, boy.
It's the first hit for Wingrove since Thursday. The Aces had held him 0 for his last 10, and he comes up at a big spot right here. All of a sudden, Jordan McArdle represents the go-ahead run. He's already homered once in this series. Well, now there's no margin for error for the Aces here. No one up at the pen. This is Nebraska's inning to finish.
He'll be very careful with McArdle.
Really good approach to play. Leads the league in walks. Pitch,
Oh.
swing and a miss, 0-1.
Big cut there.
Aces have turned 2 already today. I should say a couple times in this series. So close, just off the edge, 1-1. It's been a tighter zone here in this one.
Very tight tonight, but consistent, I think.
I would agree.
Yeah.
McArdle, 2 for 4 today. 2 singles and has punched out twice. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball by him, 1-2.
Big cut there.
Diego Gonzalez, a right-handed hitter on deck. Aces win, and they're in. One, 2. Up and away, trying to elevate the fastball again. Count evens up. Infield shifting McArdle towards his pull side, so there is room on the left side of the infield. George, the third baseman, well off the bag, too, as you see Wingrove being held on by Bird. Two. Spoiled away. Count still holds. This game, this inning, has been a microcosm for the season for the Aces. So many ups, so many downs. Trying to finish the regular season on one more high.
Oh, boy.
Can feel and hear a restless buzz in the crowd here at Melbourne Ballpark. 1,500 on hand. 2-2. Upstairs, 3-2. The count now full, and this is McArdle's specialty.
Now, for the, 10th time tonight, this is a big pitch.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said it every inning.
And by the way, how important was that Burke home run?
Yeah.
Not for that, Adelaide has the lead. 3-2 the count, 1 away. Tying run at first, the payoff. Walked him.
Wow.
Tying run into scoring position, go-ahead run at first, and again, no one up in the Aces' pen. So Neveraskis is going to have to do this all by himself right here. Here's Peter Moylan.
That's great at-bat from Jordan McArdle, but we talked about that. We discussed his eye, his patience, his ability to milk that walk, stay alive. It was just great at-bat.
Just another example of him falling behind quickly with 2 strikes and then just spoiling a couple of foul balls and then finding a way to get out of it. As now there's some action in the bullpen for the Aces. That's Billy Parsons starting to toss.
Throwing the football.
Yeah, with Dennis Neal. He tossed 3 really good innings today. Well, Diego Gonzalez has found himself in the middle of everything over the last 24 hours. Was 2 for 5 with a home run and 4 runs batted in yesterday. Scored the first run of the day on the double from Albrecht for Adelaide. Tying run at second, go ahead at first. First one from Nebraska. Foul straight back, 0-1.
Cutting right away.
Nico Holsizer on deck, another right-handed hitter.
Boys, 4 more baseballs, please. Thank you.
Canberra up 9-2 on Brisbane at the top of the 7th, and all of a sudden, they feel their playoff chances rising. 0-1. Chopped up the line and foul, 0-2.
Hey, hands up. Thank you.
Sydney already in, they're the 1 seed. Adelaide already in, they're the 2 seed. Perth already in, they're the 3 seed. Big question is, who's going to be number 4? All 3 teams not named still alive. Melbourne, Canberra, and Brisbane, and only 1 spot for those 3. Aces still control their own destiny. Just need 2 outs here.
Still got 2 free visits left, by the way.
Oh, 2. Down low. Good stop from Edwards, 1-2. Gonzalez, the 6th hitter to come to the plate, make that the 7th in this inning for Adelaide. Inning started with the Albrecht ground out, and since then it's gone single walk, double, single walk. Nebraska's ahead here. 1-2. Flown out to center. Whitefield back, it's staying in the yard. All the way to the track, makes the catch. Windrove tags. He'll get to third without a play. 2 away. The Aces an out away, but the tying run 90 feet away for who other than Nico Holsizer. He's had a tough series defensively this weekend, and he has a chance to make amends for all of that with 1 big AB right here.
Yep.
3 runs already in this inning here for the Giants. Holsizer, the 8th to come to the plate.
Very well said, Max. He certainly could deliver something and forget about some of those struggles in the outfield if they hit here.
Aces can taste the playoff train in the distance. First one. Swing and a miss. Foul tip, 0-1.
Good start.
Entered the inning with a 4-run lead that is evaporated to 1. Doesn't matter if they can retire Holsizer here. 0-1. Down low, good take, count evens up. Again, Adelaide has nothing really to play for, but playing the villain in this one. Playing some spoiler here, or at least trying to.
Now, we knew they would. It's the kind of ball club they are.
1-1. Flown out to right. Glendinning playing with the wind at the track. The wall, it's gone. Nico Holsizer with a 3-run bomb, and Adelaide takes the lead. My goodness.
Wow.
The Canberra Cavalry all of a sudden have life, and the Aces trail by 2. 6 runs here in the 9th from the Giants. Holsizer's 8th homer.
I think he's made up for those blunders in the outfield. Wow. Wow.
An opposite field blast, and here's Briley Knight. The Aces will have a chance in the bottom of the 9th. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Holy moly.
It'll be Bird, George, and McCullough. I mean, my goodness. 0-2. What a season for Holsizer. 8 homers. He'll probably finish with 22 runs batted in the regular season.
Yeah, that's a massive clutch blast from him.
0-2. Popped foul. Count stays alive.
And it was sort of the carbon copy of a few we've seen here today. Up, 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 not sure. Back goes Robbie. Then it's gone.
Well, the Aces have the same opportunity to take advantage of that wind in the 9th. Pitch is grounded wide of first. Bird is there, and he takes it to the bag by himself. That'll end the inning. Adelaide sends 9 to the plate, push across 6. They lead 9-7 as we head to the bottom of the ninth. The Aces down to their final 3 outs of this season. Can they rally? We'll see.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Nine, 7, Adelaide. As we head to the last of the ninth, there's a look at Ton van Steensel looking to record a record-breaking 46th career ABL save, would set him as the all-time king, passing Ryan Searle, a former Brisbane Bandit. They're both knotted at 45 apiece, and Van Steensel with his well-accomplished ABL and Australian baseball career looking to make some history here today. Meanwhile, the Aces, they're down to their final 3 outs after a shocking 6-run top of the ninth. They had a 4-run lead, were 3 outs away from clinching, and now all of a sudden Canberra and their 9-2 lead over Brisbane are feeling mighty good as we take a look at the Holsizer bomb out to right field. Again, at this point, the Aces led by 1. You can see the flags in right field blowing out, and this one was no cheapie into the parking lot for Holsizer's 8th of the year. I mean, my goodness, Ed. It has been a remarkable season, and Adelaide just continues to add on and playing spoiler here today.
And we said it at the beginning, we said it in the pregame, we said it during the broadcast. This is not a team that's going to lay down and treat this as a meaningless game, and they haven't done that. They're competitive. There's a competition between Melbourne, a rivalry between Melbourne and Adelaide. They're getting ready for playoffs. They've been one of the best teams in the league all year, and we saw why. We just saw it.
Absolutely.
Well, here we go.
Greg Bird to lead it off. Again, they need at least a base runner to send the tying run to the plate. Bird, George, and McCullough, 4, 5, and 6, due up for Melbourne. Van Steensel looking for the all-time saves record instead. Who's going to get it? We'll see. Let's start the bottom of the ninth. First one. Blows by a fastball, 0-1. Van Steensel had to throw a ton of pitches yesterday, just getting some work in. So
Yeah.
even though it was a quick scoreless inning for him, the Aces worked plenty of lengthy counts. In fact, back-to-back full counts, but they couldn't win them. Bird 0 for 3 today, looking for his first hit. 0-1. Sent out to center, not deep. In fact, it's on the infield. Gonzalez makes the catch, 1 away.
Wow. Now's where you need that camera in the Canberra dugout with
Right.
them watching the Baseball Plus broadcast.
I wonder how many of them actually know. I'm sure the
Wow.
score's gotten around, but did they know what
Yeah.
the deficit was with 2 outs?
Great
My
question.
goodness. Well, here's Darryl George. Doubled in the first. First pitch. Strike called, 0-1. McCullough on deck. And Mitch Edwards here. Again, Adelaide, no shot for the 1 seed. Even with Sydney losing today, they are locked into the 2 seed and will face Perth next weekend at home. Number 4 up for grabs between Canberra, Brisbane, and Melbourne to play Sydney. 0-1. Breaking ball drops in for a strike, 0-2.
Good pitch. Very good pitch.
0-2. Aces need a base runner. Time now called.
Oh, and I kicked you, and we just.
It's been a long one today as well. This is now, 3.5 hours almost in this one.
Very long.
Pretty fitting for a 16-run game combined between both sides. We've seen 3 separate lead changes now. Vince Steensel has gone through that routine for over 170 ABL appearances and continues to nail it here today. 0-2. Queued up the line. Does it hit the bag? No, it's foul. Smothered by Wingrove. George stays alive. A little bit of English. That would have been a break if it stayed fair potentially.
I get a look at that again.
Either way, George gets another pitch to
Here
hit.
we go. Let's see.
Oh, that's close.
Maybe it hopped over the bag. I thought it hit the bag, but apparently not.
0-2 the count here with 1 away. Aces looking to keep their heartbeat alive here. 0-2. Just got a piece. Fouls it away.
Just feeling air go out of this place when Holsizer hit that home run.
It's one of those where you almost just don't believe it.
Yeah,
Expect
I
you to
know.
be in the squat the whole time.
And rightfully so. Holsizer was fired up. What a way to cap his weekend after a real tough one.
Yeah, you gotta love that if you're if you're him, if you're Adelaide.
Oh, 2. Grounded. Going to be a tough play. Backhanded by Spence. Throw is well high. And Daryl George reaches. Forces the tying run of the plate in Morgan McCullough.
We will change that after. Thanks, Cody.
Well, here we go, Ed. The Aces have life.
That's all you can ask for.
Again, Morgan not known for his power, but the bat-to-ball abilities looking to keep the line moving. Good effort from Spence.
Yeah, it's always going to be a tough play for him.
Pull shift on for McCullough. A lot of room on the third base side. Pokes that out to center on the first pitch. Carr is underneath it. 2 away. Van Steensel and out away from the record. Well, Mitchell Edwards, the spiritual leader for the Aces, is their last hope here in 2024-25.
Had a couple of hits. Now batting from the left side.
1 hit from the right side, 1 hit from the left side. Has grinded all season long. At one point was catching every game for the first 4 rounds. Fitting that he gets one more shot to put the team on his back. George not being held on at first. First one from Van Steensel. Taken upstairs, 1-0. Jared Belbit on deck if the inning can continue. Mitch has 1 homer on the season. Came from the right side against Sydney last week. Wind is blowing out to right. His pull side now swinging from the left side. One 0. 2-0. Hitters count. Logan Moore now swinging a bat on deck for the Aces. He would pinch hit for Belbin in the DH spot.
They're probably looking to get that big pop in the bat that Logan showed.
Two-0. Grounded softly left side. Ward, no one at the bag. Throw to first. Not in time. The Aces live for another hitter.
Wow. How about that?
Likely will be a hit for Mitch, and the tying runs at first. And the go-ahead run comes to the plate in the pinch hitter in Logan Moore. Well, this game is living up to as it was advertised. Chris Burke, who's already homered tonight, by the way, on deck. Moore could win it and send the Aces to the playoffs with one swing. He's already homered once in this series. That was on Friday night. He's got 2 this season. And talk about a guy who has played a leadership role in this clubhouse. Moore joined the team in round 7 going into Canberra, allowing Mitch Edwards to get a little bit of a break. We mentioned he had been catching almost every day. Moore, who has baseball in his blood, his father played for the Major League Phillies. Moore reached AAA in the Phillies organization, has been in these spots before. This is the guy that you trust in this moment. Jack Radcliffe, by the way, pinch running at first base for Mitchell Edwards, representing the tying run, which would mean if this goes to extras, the Aces would have to burn their DH for Moore to catch and replace Edwards.
That's right.
But desperate times call for desperate measures. That doesn't matter. Just trying to send this to an extra inning, if not win it. Aces with a win, advance. First one. Taken outside, 1-0. Whew. The Aces have one walk-off win this year. That was Greg Bird's walk-off single in Game 2 of Round 9 versus Sydney. George at second. Ratcliffe at first. 1-0. Upstairs 2-0. Mora, professional hitter, is going to make Van Steensel, a professional himself, come to him.
Yep.
Moore sends it out to center. Carr got a late read. He's there, and he makes the catch. Todd Van Steensel is the all-time ABL saves leader, and the Aces' playoff hopes are halted here in the final game of the season.
Well, before we talk about the Aces, we do have to congratulate Chris Adamson and the Adelaide Giants for a remarkable season. They're not back-to-back champs for no reason, and Todd Van Steensel for setting that record. Super impressive. The guy's been a great warrior here in the ABL for a long time and deserves all the praise he gets.
Absolutely. And with Canberra leading 9-2 at Brisbane, they are knocking on the door of a playoff spot. Would take the 4 seed if they hold on to face the number 1 seeded Sydney Blue Sox in Sydney. I mean, my goodness, what a ball game. The Aces fall to 18-22. Meanwhile, Adelaide moves to 23-17 as they get ready to host the Perth Heat next weekend at home. The Aces knew at first pitch that they had to win this game to advance and were able to rally back to get that lead. Here's the first run of the game. Darryl George with a line drive single or double out to right center field. That would get them on the board. Robbie Glendinning on the same play would be cut down at the plate. At this point, you're feeling all right. The Aces, their bats are slinging it after getting shut out yesterday. George picking up RBI number 21 on the season. But then we mentioned just a couple moments ago, so many twists and turns in this one. Louis Albrecht, who had himself a series.
Yeah, he did.
Cracks a double out to the gap in right center field. That pushes the lead to 2-1 Adelaide. And they would add on one more a little bit later. This is Jared Carr. His 5th homer of the year extends his hitting streak to 17 games. That extends his record that he already holds for Adelaide. Again, the wind played a big factor today, Ed, jetting out to right center field, and Adelaide took advantage of it. You got to tip your cap.
We didn't think it was at the beginning, but it picked up during the game, and you're right, it really did play a big part, as you see Carr, who had a tremendous series both in the field and with the bat.
And then Steve Kent and Dennis Neal did a good job to keep it a 3-1 game until Jared Dale slapped a single through a vacant right side. That brought home 2 runs to score, and at the time knotted the game at 3 apiece. The Aces are feeling good. The momentum's in their direction. The only question was could they keep the line moving and take the lead? The answer was yes when Robbie Glendinning lined a single on the left, just hooked it in front of Nico Hulsizer to give the Aces a 4-3 lead at the time. Get another look at it right here, and that was off of Nakayoshi, who hadn't allowed a run in over 10 consecutive innings.
So you're feeling pretty good right now, Matt. You're feeling good.
Brings around Whitefield to score. It's 4-3. The Aces know that they need some insurance in this one, and Jared Dale comes to the plate with Whitefield on third base and rockets a single in the left. So it's 5-3 Melbourne. At this point in the 7th inning, they have 6 outs to go, and that felt like a good amount of insurance, especially with Jonathan Tripp coming in for the 8th. Tripp was spectacular, tossed a scoreless inning on 12 pitches. Then in the bottom of the 8th, Chris Burke sends his 4th homer of the season out to deep right field. This would give the Aces a 4-run lead at 7-3, and at this point, it's all but done, it seems like, for the Aces.
Yep. You're feeling even better now.
You could see Burke capping a really good season. Don't let that go underlooked. He was so good this year for Melbourne at the bottom of the lineup. Such a high-spirited guy as well. We go to the 9th, though, and this is where things get a little wild. Jared Carr with a line drive single out to left field. That would push across a run for Adelaide. At the time, made it 7-4. Then Rickson Wingrove sends a 2-run single up the middle of the center. This point, it's a 7-6 one-run lead for the Giants, or for the Aces. And then Nico Holsizer with 2 on blasts an opposite field shot out to deep right field to give Adelaide a 9-7 lead. His 8th homer of the season. Look at that reaction, both from him and that third base dugout. I mean, what a remarkable moment. Talk about going into the postseason with some momentum, too.
Don't tell them it's a meaningless game. That was something special. We thought it would have. We knew they would play this way, and they did.
Absolutely. So again, 9-7 going into the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Aces, knowing that they have 3 outs left in the regular season, unless they get it going, get 2 runners on, and Logan Moore, a pinch hitter, pops out to shallow center field. Ton Van Steensel secures his record-breaking 46th career ABL save, passing Ryan Searle.
And I think you said it really well, as you can see Adelaide celebrating and Van Steensel celebrating. We'll talk about the International Baseball Showdown before we wrap up this Aces commentary. 14th, 15th, 16th of February. Hanwha Eagles in town here at the ballpark to play Team Australia. That will be highly entertaining. Tickets are going pretty quickly on that, so you want to jump on those. You said it really well, Max. You said this game was a microcosm of the Aces season, and that's exactly what it was. It was predictable, but unpredictable. There were highs, there were lows, there was good pitching, there was bad pitching, there was good hitting, there was bad hitting. A very quality opponent, which we've seen a lot of this year. It was a very competitive league. It's unfortunate the Aces don't make the playoffs for the fans and for the players and for us. But, look, it was just a strange season, and full credit to the teams that did make the playoffs.
Absolutely, and a tip of the cap to the Aces fans. Over 30,000 fans through 20 games this year here at Melbourne Ballpark. Really good stuff. That's a franchise high for the Aces as well. As you saw on your screen, the International Baseball Showdowns on the 14th, 15th, and 16th. Ed and I will have the call for that as well. So this isn't our last broadcast together of the year.
Bring your partner out for Valentine's Day. Come see the Hanwha Eagles on Valentine's Day. How about that?
Absolutely, and Team Australia as well. As you can see, some of the big guns right there. Aaron Whitefield right in the middle. Well, Perth was leading 9-2. We'll give you one final update before we go. The winner of the Perth and Brisbane game advances into the playoffs and takes that 4th seed.
Or the Canberra Brisbane.
Yes, Canberra Brisbane to take the 4th and final playoff spot. We get one more update before we go. Bottom 7, 9-2 Canberra. And that ball game's over, in fact. It just ended. So the Canberra Cavalry finish up the playoff pool. So it'll be good ABL playoff baseball next week. Sydney hosting Canberra and Adelaide hosting Perth. Well, we thank you so much for tuning in all regular season long for our entire Sportscast Australia crew. A big thank you to them. They killed it this season. They put in so much work.
They did.
And we cannot thank them enough for this wonderful, beautiful broadcast that they put together for us. For Ed Wyatt, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you and calling baseball. We got 3 more games of the International Baseball Showdown in February. And I'm Max Tanzert. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. It was a great 24-25. We'll catch you for the International Baseball Showdown on Valentine's Day.
This broadcast is powered by Sportscast Australia.